What's up? What's up? Salute, salute. Wally's in the building. Salute real early. Grand Rising, everybody. Grand Rising. Um, there might be some feedback going on, Mercury retrograde. I don't know. Wally's in the building. And Dog's in the building. Salute, salute. My brother Maybach is in the building. Scorpio season is now here. Shout out to my Lotus, my little sis. GAKG is in the building, no doubt. Thanks for being here. All right, new space. Let's give thanks. Okay, hold tight, because we're going to be, talking some truths today. I will be dropping the link down for everybody to come through. My beauty queen came in the building. I saw some of you here earlier. If you could come back, great. You know how we do on Mindful Mondays. So really quickly, we're going to do some formalities, and then we will get onto the nitty gritty of the conversation today. So the conversation is basically a part 2 to conversation we had back in April. It's no coincidental that we're having this conversation, i.e. I lost my father back in that time. It's all a spiritual thing going on, and I will talk more about it as we get into this conversation. Aww. Where you see me at? I be in those YouTube screens. I really do. Some of them. Let me not say I be in all of them. I be in some of them. But thank you. Give thanks. So first and foremost, don't forget to hit that like button right as you come through. It supports the algorithm. I'm really up there like that, and to keep the channel going, it's great to have the thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber already, go ahead and hit that subscription button there. Make sure to hit your notification bell so you do know when I am live from time to time. I only come on maybe once or twice a week, if that. I'm not a person that likes to come on social media. I go into other people's platforms. Also, I am taking personal private readings. Okay, my website is down at the moment. You guys can hit me up on IG. I think I have that information pinned in the I don't know if I have it pinned or not, but you guys, I will put the IG page down where you can hit me up for private readings. Just let me know that you're interested, and we will set something up. Give me like 1 or 2 business days to get back to you, because I don't check my Instagram page often. Not that one as often as I should, but definitely, it's my business page. So I'm not on there as much. Usually I am there like 1 or 2 days. So if you definitely want to get a reading with me, you can. Also, it's a limited time, guys. So I'm only doing it from October to December. After that, I'm closing down my calendar for a while, just till the new year. The holidays are coming up, and this will be the first year that I'm not having it with my dad or seeing him. Those who know, and those who don't know, I lost my father back in late April, unexpectedly, and very fast, and still wrapping my head around it. So the holidays are coming up. For those that he liked to celebrate holidays and things of that nature. I kind of got over it, but I was like the Grinch who stole Christmas. He's like, come on, let's get a tree and all that. And I'm just like, humbug. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling that. But so yeah, I'm just gonna have that moment, after I do my readings, to just power down again, and just get things, new year, what I'm saying, new things popping off. What else? I think that's it for the most part. So yeah, if you're definitely interested in getting a private reading, you can hit me up on Instagram. Instagram. I'll drop the link. Not the link. I'll put my information up right now. You guys who are watching from the clouds can see that on the screen. Shout out to Miss Sharon. Shout out to all the new subscribers, because within the past, I think, month, I've gotten, I don't remember what the analytics say, but I got a lot of new subscribers. So I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate you guys for listening. And I've been coming on other people's platforms that I've been going on, that people are like, oh, word, I like you. I like what you're saying. So thank you. Salute to the new subscribers. All right. Thank you, G. All right. So let me put my my IG up there. Yeah, it's no particular way spelled. Like, you don't need capitals. I think I'm spelling it right. I'm all off. I get excited when I get around you guys. I get happy. People, yeah, people make the world go round. Um, okay, so for personal readings. Who's texting? Oh, it never fails. As soon as I get on, nobody's been calling, talking to me all morning. As soon as I get on social media and do my ching, there they go. There they go. All right, so let me put this up there in the chat, and then I will pin it into the page there. Okay, so today's conversation we're going to be talking about is, what's been going on right overseas and things of that nature. I don't have the full historical analytics behind what's really going on. I know that what Israel became a nation, in 1948 or something like that, 1945. So we're going to talk about the politics or the politics that are happening. And I'm not saying that there aren't serious things that are not happening over there, but remember who we're dealing with. Remember who is the hidden hand behind all this stuff, right? And that some of us can't be too invested in politics and politics that have nothing to do with us, right? And especially when you're talking about people of the so-called quote unquote Black community, right? Because people are putting up, Palestine and freedom to Palestine and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you don't remember who did what to your ancestors? Miss me with the all, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's innocent people getting hurt. There's what we call casualties of war happening. But please miss me with the who's really your ally and who's out here really helping you out. Because people are still, wanting reparations over here in the United Snakes of America, right? And that's a problem. Nobody's batting for us. But we want to be out there waving flags and putting up on hashtags on Instagram. Let me digress. So I got my notes. We're going to do fair use, right? Because we got to dot our I's and cross our T's. Hold on a second. I don't know why this is like acting up, but let me, is the screen acting okay? Because I feel like it's slow for some reason, and that could be StreamYards. Because I don't have this problem too much when I go on, YouTube per se. All right, so I'm gonna just read the Fair Use Act really quickly, guys, so we can dot our I's and cross our T's, because I'm going to be sourcing some places, and we want to, make sure that we don't have any issues, because YouTube is, an entity like other social media platforms that, you can't really say certain things, even though you have freedom of speech. Freedom of speech is not free. There's a price to pay with certain things that you say, and especially when you're on somebody else's platform. Now, whether you give two hoots about it or not, you're still using their platform. It's not yours. You didn't create anything social media like where we can all go over there. It's these people that are creating these websites, right? So yeah, you want to have a voice, you got to play by the rules. Simply, simple said is done. Some people, like I said, they don't give a rat's ass. I don't have time to be creating page after page after page. I done seen one, my peoples, shout out to the Red Pill and Blue Pill with KTL, Know the Ledge Radio and Know the Ledge on YouTube. Their page, their channel has been completely squashed. And I've been rocking out with them for almost a decade on YouTube. I learned a lot of things from them brothers. I was in a semi-dark place, and they helped me get out of that kind of feeling. And to have their channel get dismantled because they're, talking the truth, saying some real deal Holyfield stuff. And these YouTubers like, And they've had their page compromised a couple of times. So now it's no more. And they're going to be going into different outlets. I believe they're on Patreon. And, this is going to get them to where they're going to create their own place where we can now come through and do what we do, say what we want to say, because it's being created and being uh, the narrative is being shifted, so we have our own little, what you call, safe place to speak our, to talk our talk. That's all right. So fair use act disclaimer. Copyright disclaimer: under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is use permitted by the copyright statute that may be otherwise be infringing. All right. So let's get off of copyright, and we'll keep it pushing from there. All right, so I'm going to take this down. I hope everybody got the Foxy Moon Spiritual Alchemist is where you can reach me on IG. And, we'll keep it pushing from there. So let's go ahead and talk about this spiritual alignment, all right, and this cosmic alignment. They're all entwined together, all right? And when we hear things like religion and state, they're still together. There's no separation. Again, it's the guise of being hoodwinked. Shout out to brother OG, Philly OG, where he had this conversation on his panel as far as, the mass there, people, the deception, the Decepticons, right? Just really trying to hoodwink us into thinking one thing, and then really this is what's really going on, right? So when we're talking about places like Israel and we're talking about Palestine, listen, it's like Haiti and Dominican Republic. It's all on one landmass. And it was the colonizers that did the separation and divided everybody. Put the light skins on this side, put the dark skins on that side. Right? Is that not what's going on in Israel and Palestine? Are not the Israelis the light skin of the Negroes? Let's be clear. Who were the Negroes? Remember, everybody once upon a time was that. Just evolution and evolving and science and, where you live at plays a factor of your complexion, of your culture, etc. Ultra's in the building. Salute. So let's be clear about who's your ally and who's your enemy, right? We've talked about this on this channel as well. It's not your everyday so-called white person that's your enemy. And I don't care if you feel like, their families did wrong. Yeah. But we're talking about the establishment when we're talking about who the enemy is, right? And the tiers in the establishment. Those are your open enemies. Those are the ones that can create laws, bylaws, you name it, they're in control. Not Jane and Harriet that live down the street from you. Sure, they may not like the color of your skin, but they're not your true enemy. They're not. So I'm going to read a little bit back in my, Maybach's in the building. I'm going to read a little bit because it's crazy how all this stuff is playing out. And it was only 6 months ago that this stuff was starting to rebel up. And November, there's going to be, supposedly the United States is going to be doing a government financial lockdown. There's a soft pause right now for the government. So that means all your veterans checks, all your SSI checks, all your SSD checks, all your food stamp checks, those things can have an effect come next month going into your so-called holiday seasons. So while we worried about something that's going on out overseas that we have no control over, you forgot that your government said we put in a soft stop right now on the financial lockdown. I don't think people remember that, heard that. That was just last month. And you're worried about Palestine? You need to worry about what's going on here. And it's the so-called Black person that's putting up the hashtags Free Palestine. Don't forget who was putting your family out there in chains and shackles. So, April 13th, 2023. Also, we just had a solar eclipse. Okay. The wars took off right when that solar eclipse happened, almost on cue. Almost on cue. We're having a lunar eclipse coming up on the 28th of this month. So that's 2 eclipses in 1 month. Back in April, we had the same scenario. Back in April, we also had what they was rolling out called BRICS. Did anybody forget about that? Or do we remember? Because we talked about it on this panel here. Yeah. Don't forget that's what's happening. Okay. So the solar eclipse, now I'm going back in time. All right. We're going to go in the DeLorean and we're going to drive back to the future. And we're going to go in time to see how all this stuff is playing out on that spiritual, astro, cosmic world. Because trust me, these people use signs, symbols, and numbers and rituals. We're still in the Jason months. I don't know what I'm talking about. We in the Jason months where they do all this kind of stuff. So while some of us are scratching our heads and thinking, wow, no, some of it is supernatural. I will agree to that. But some of it is they want you to think it's supernatural. They want you to think that's a holy war going out there. Newsflash, who owns that whole little area? And it's not Israelis and it's not Palestinians. It's the Vatican. Like everything else the Vatican owns. But you worried about somebody else that you got no control over. I don't see that anybody overseas was worried about the little boys and girls in Brooklyn and Harlem and the Bronx that's killing each other. That's genocide, is it not? Oh, people are using that word. Oh, it's genocide going on out there. There's genocide going on right here. I don't see them putting hashtags up for Chicago or for LA or for Houston, for Atlanta, Miami. Come on. Somebody talk to me. That's crazy, Maybach. Yeah, I'm going to drop the link in a minute. Let me go through my little spiel and then I'm going to drop the link. Also, remember, just, use code words. Be mindful about what we're saying. This is not a hate speech conversation here. This is just educating us and letting us get off some steam that we have certain disdain for, because a lot is usually what we like to call our people that are rallying behind. They always rallying behind something bigger and greater and bigger, but then be mad like, oh, little Tommy done went and became little, I don't know what they calling him now. But no one's rallying behind those children. You keep calling them monsters. You want to turn your back on them, but you worried about the little babies that got bombed out in the hospital, allegedly. Because we don't even know. They using CGI now. They've been doing politics. They want to pull on the people's heartstrings. I'm not saying that there's not something going on over there. I'm not there. We're being fed what they want us to see, whether through social media or through mass media. Right? But hey, we got Desert Storm here. Did they not forget the Bronx was burnt out? Did they not forget that we was living in Liberia once upon a time in the Bronx in the 1970s and the 1980s? This was Desert Storm. What? Come on. All right, so let's go back in the DeLorean really quickly. We also had a Mercury retrograde around that time as well. So that had to do with communication or communication issues happening, right? Because Mercury has to deal with that. I'm not going to really talk about what these alignments are today. You guys go back to, last week, and I kind of talked about eclipses. So we had a solar eclipse on it's my dad channeling it. We had a solar eclipse April 20th. My dad transitioned April 29th. So 9 days later, and we were in a solar eclipse and in a lunar eclipse. And my dad got taken up in that rapture, right? So that's one thing. Also, this solar eclipse that happened is coming from the August 21st, 2017 eclipse as well. So if you realize, if you guys are into that type of what we call science and science fiction or whatever, um, you will notice that there's a next year will be a exact cross hitting throughout the United States, or rather America, and it will be more in the kind of like not directly over Chicago, but in that area and more eastward. So like Kentucky, Cincinnati, something like along those lines, Ohio, right? And it will be coming more northern and hitting straight from I want to say like Vermont, Boston. So maybe you might be able to see the eclipse more so. Like we'll be able to see it on the East Coast. But what I'm saying is there will be like this grand cross that's going to be hitting over the United States come next year. It's going to make its full cross 2024. But we've been having these dances with eclipses throughout for the past 5, 6, 7 years now, right? Since 2017. Eclipses causes this potent power, this powerful energy that shifts, pretty much Mother Nature. And not only that, but people. Some people are in tune with, the celestial heavenly bodies in that respect. So when we were having solar flares during that time, like in February, March, April, that was affecting some people too, right? So guess what? The powers that shouldn't be also know that these are eclipses, that there's a lot of energy going on, and they know how to manifest, alchemize it, and use it to their best advantage. So the 2017 eclipse brought a significant shift in the nation's political, social, and economical landslides, making the beginning of a new era. I will repeat. Yep, X marks the spot. Ooh, pretty gangsters in the building. Hope you got your snacks. Right. How like, yeah, because I don't ever since we saw Terminator and things like that, and Matrix movie, like they know how to put a Hollywood little wand on us and cast spells and make us think like, oh snap, they really bombed something. Whatever. I will talk lightly about 9/11 because I understand that that is a conversation on YouTube that could get you. So I will talk lightly around that. But those who know. There's a documentary called Loose Change. I implore us to watch that because that is an eye opener. Anyway, I will repeat. 2017 eclipse brought about a significant shift in the nation's political, social, and economic landslides, marking the beginning of a new era. Well, spiritually speaking, for me, it definitely was rocking my world 2017, especially on a spiritual level and, emotional level. And I believe that's when Trump was elected. It was in 2016, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. And so, yeah, that's the new shift. And now look what they're trying to do with him, right? They were trying to diminish him all throughout his presidency. Oh, he's an idiot. I mean, granted, dude is funny. Like he's the nuts for nuts character or cousin that you had. That's just like, what? Like, but you gotta appreciate that. I mean, he's telling you everything like he had no filter, and it sounded crazy, right? But again, the so-called Black community were in their feelings after a while because they were like, "Oh, he's a racist." You don't think any of them are, but you want to cast stones on this man who's actually been telling you the truth all along, and said, "I don't care what color you are, let's get this money." And I'm not in this for political gain, guys. I have no hat, race in any one of those. We don't do the voting thing over here anymore. But I'm just saying, you wouldn't know what truth is if it stood you right in your face and told you in your face what it is. And after him speaking out, that was the precipice of everything. Like, I don't believe what nobody says anymore. Why? Because they made him to be a laughing stock. Twitter had like totally took his platform. He had no way of getting on there and tweeting, because he was like tweeting, everything, anything. You know what I'm saying? Where some things was like, dude, you didn't have to say all that. You can filter that. But he was just like, right? And he had like diarrhea of the brain, right? And so now you have a president in here who now everybody's like, oh, he's incompetent. But when Trump was in presidency, who, I won't get into the whole politics of it, but he didn't step down from it. So let's just say he legally is still the president, but not he has no power as a president, but he's still the president, if you get what I mean. He's on his campaign cycles right now, his campaign circuits. I was watching on YouTube, not a mainstream channel that filters into YouTube, but nonetheless, it was a news channel, and they didn't put, and I found that very interesting, and that's what proved to me that he's still the president. They didn't put in the heading former President Donald Trump. They put President Donald Trump doing his campaigning out in Iowa. And I found that so funny, because I said, all right, then this proves to me the reading that I had about him years ago, why he's still campaigning. If there was anything legal that was going on with him, he could not campaign, guys. Like, we gotta get out of our head. Some of us have our head so far up our ass that we can't see. You don't smell bullshit when you see it or smell it. There's no way that man could legally still be running around here campaigning. He went into New York Supreme Court. He went down there in Atlanta, did a whole mugshot, and your man is still out here campaigning. How, Sway? None of the stuff that's going on with him is going to stick. People are like, oh, he's going to jail. No, he's not. No, he's not. Because money talks, bullshit walks. What they could do, though, is charge him and fine him with a lot of stuff, because they're going to try to take his money, right? Because that's what this whole world runs on, is money. You could be the most dastardliest person in the world. As long as you got that money, you out, right? O.J. Simpson, wink, wink. Okay. So, 2017's eclipse brought a significant shift. The solar eclipse will be in the north node of Libra. This is still back in the 2023 eclipse. It was in Libra. The solar eclipse that just happened this year, in this month, was in Libra season. Was it not? That was October 14th. That was still Libra season. What is Libra? Libra is about the scales. It's about justice. It's about truth. What's been going on out there? Shit that don't look right. That's injustice, right? Okay. Libra, okay, so it was in the north node of Libra as a reminder to find balance, strive for justice in our lives. It's essential to remember that change, while often challenging, is a natural part of life. All right, that was me writing my notes back in April 13th, 2023. I did a Mindful Monday. It was called Discussing the Spiritual and Cosmic Alignments to date. So we're doing a part 2, because guess what? That same energy hasn't left. In fact, it's doing a revamp, if anything. P. Moses in the building. Salute. Thank you for gracing me with your presence. Right. Our discernment as people is non-existent. So, I mean, let's see. Right, Hollow. He said drink bleach. I mean, that was a little extreme. But what he also said was there was this medication that they were using. A side note, segueing way back to Trump, there was a medication that they used that was for arthritis and malaria. I forgot the name of it, but he was saying, you could use that to help you, hydrochloroquine or something like that. He wasn't lying because now there's a thing out that's saying, to use that for, the Jabberwocky instead of getting the Jabberwocky. We got to be careful when we're using those words over here too, because they. Mhm. Hollow's cracking me up. What's G say? G says, "Oh boy, I don't know who that is, G, but I mean, I guess if they feel like that's right, but we got our own issues over here. Is all I'm saying. So before you can go and take care of somebody else's house, you better make sure yours is clean. Clean up your own house first. Clean your backyard up. Okay. So ultimately, eclipses can serve as a mirror reflecting the possibilities. Well, this is mirroring what happened in April of 2023. Um, there is a growing awareness that the world we knew is undergoing a significant transformation. I'm reading my notes from April 13th. We had an eclipse October 14th. If this is not mirroring 6 months ago, I don't know what is. But I have to talk about it because I am on that spooky, rest in peace to my brother Rich Mo, spooky goodness. I'm all about that spooky stuff because that's where I make it make sense for me. Okay. So this shift can be seen in various aspects of our lives, from technology and the environment to our social structures and values. Okay. I talked about quantum consciousness. I'm not going to go into that too much right now because we done leaped 6 months into the future and didn't even know it, and didn't know that what was going on in April is only mirroring right now. But I want to touch on one more thing, and then I'm going to drop the link. So if anybody's interested in coming up and speaking their piece about what's going on, please do. All right. We also have a couple of planets that are still in retrograde. Mercury is not one of them, not yet. But we have Neptune that is in retrograde, and that's in Pisces right now. So when I was talking about illusions, and I don't know if certain things are really what they seem to be or look to appear to be out there in Israel and them, because we're in a retrograde that has to do with illusions. Right? They what are they making it more of an example of? Women and children, right? Oh, it's bad out there for the women and children. It's bad. That's all I keep hearing. Is bad out here for our women and children too? We also are just finished a Pluto retrograde, and that was in this sign of Aquarius. Aquarius also has to deal with that esoteric element. All right. It has to do with power struggling right now because it's in Pluto. It was in Pluto. We're just getting out of that energy, but it's still here. There's a week that lapses when these energies move forward instead of being direct, right? So we have Pluto and Neptune. Pluto can be a destroyer, first forcing us to rebuild from the ashes, generally accompanied by a grief, crisis, and loss. Well, guess what? I lost my dad. It was May 1st when this planet went into retrograde. I lost my dad 3 days before that. So it's a week before and a week after these planets go into their directs, and they go direct again. They're indirect and they're direct. Talk about grief and crisis. I've got it firsthand. Pluto also has a long, inconsistent orbit and taking approximately 248 years to make one full journey around the sun. It hovers in a single sign for 12 to 21 years. So as explained before, you guys could look at my previous lives where I've talked about Mercury, how that's affected and how that's in retrograde and how these planets play a big part. Not the bigger planets don't go as frequently retrograde as like a Mars, Mars or a Mercury. Some of the planets take a little longer, like Pluto, like Neptune, like Saturn. All right. We're also in a Saturn retrograde, which is also in Pisces. I love me some Pisces, but they also the death of me. My dad being a Pisces. That has to do here with fortifying your boundaries. Powerful year for exploring your faith and healing from your past triggers and traumas. Well, what's going on out there in Israel, Palestine? Is it not faith-based? Is it not Muslims versus Jews who all still run under the Vatican? Well, where is that other one that I wanted to bring out to you guys? Hold on. There was something else. Oh, yes. And also, during that time in April was a highly holy month, right? So you had the Catholic holiday, which was Easter, or you had Holy Thursday or Good Friday, and then Easter, right? For the Jewish holiday, you had Passover, and then for the Islamic holiday, you had Ramadan. So all that was going on while there was a solar eclipse happening that was going to affect the world. Even though it was hit over here in America, we could see that solar eclipse, but it's affecting the world. Okay. So that was going on. And while that eclipse was going on, there was, hold on, because I know I wrote it down here. There was the BRICS. All right. And the BRICS was going on. And what is that? That was Brazil. That was Russia. That was India. And China coming together to say that they wanted to let go ties financially with America. Right? Did we lose sight of that? And they were going to come up with their own financial system and work that way. Yeah, Panero's in the building. Salute. Yep, I'm going to drop the link. But yeah, that was happening. That's still happening. It's just quiet. They do these soft rollouts to see how everybody's going to respond. But you're putting up hashtags about something that has nothing to do with you. And yeah, it's humanity. And yeah, there are innocent people being harmed and stuff like that. But I'm looking at it like, innocent people get harmed down in Harlem, in the Bronx every day, in Brooklyn every day. I digress. I'm going to put the link up. So you guys are more than welcome to come through. And we will take it from there, because that's pretty much all I had to say. I don't have the full story of I know that these wars, this Palestine and Israel, has been going on forever. Centuries, guys, centuries. But remember who played a part. Salute, Latasha. Oh, she's here. Yay. We've been up early, right? Sheesh. Okay, so the link is there, guys. You can more than welcome to pop up if you're interested. Okay. G says reminds me of the book of Esther. Yeah, that part. That part. And also, where's my phone at? I did want to read this out of The Economist. Why Saudi Arabia and the UAE want to keep links with Israel. What is the UAE? I'm not that smart, guys. Like, I know it's a little something about a little something. Brother Maybach's in the building. But let me read this really quickly and then I'll get Brother Maybach up here. Okay. So The Economist, I'm reading out of The Economist. Again, fair use, fair use, fair use. Copyright disclaimer. Okay, it feels like an image from the alternate reality. Hundreds of bankers and executives will descend on RADA this week for a flashy investment conference dubbed Davos in the desert. The money men will try to pretend it is business as usual, but in the Middle East, it's boiling. Gulf states had hoped for calm in the region this year to focus on ambitious plans to diversify their economies. Now, the Middle East's oldest conflict has roared back to life. The war between Israel and Hamas is threatening to trigger a broader conflict that draws in the Gulf states, whose booming economies are key to global oil and gas. I digress. Let me get my brother Maybach up here.
Hey, hold on. Turn down my Can you hear me clearly? Can you hear me?
Kind of, sort of. It sounds like you're in the closet. No disrespect.
Oh, hold on. Is it still messed up? I might have
No, I can hear you now.
No, my tablet's on delay, I guess, a little bit. But can you hear me?
There is a
Is my audio
Yeah, there is a delay.
Good enough?
No, I think there's a delay with StreamYard though.
Yeah, no.
Okay, we're gonna work this out.
Okay. All right. You sounded like RoboCop real quick. So
I know there's some issues with StreamYard, you know.
Yeah, you sound like you are up in the Matrix. You might have to disconnect from the Matrix.
How do I do that if I'm connected with you?
But I'm kind of with you, right, on something that you said earlier, as far as like, because Boston last week they protested. It was a super big protest. Yeah, they had a big so the roads was kind of blocked off, had to go around and all. Yeah. So what, people saying they can't hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, no, I was wondering if somebody said in the chat like I could barely hear him or something like that.
No.
Because you're going in and out on my end. I'm gonna try to use another device and jump back on. So I'm gonna jump off and then I'm gonna use my other device.
Okay, because I want you up here. I need you up here. But I don't know, there's a delay. It is sending frequency jammers, that's right. Am I good, Hollow and Wally? Am I good? Or am I slow down? It's really trying to do damage control. Hold on a second, y'all. Oh, okay. You can hear me? All right, cool. It might be the camera. But it's all good as long as y'all can hear me. Every time I want to get on live, my damn cats want to open. Y'all know this. If it's not somebody trying to call, text me, I got the cats scratching at the door. All right, good. Thank you. Okay, cool. Because I can see that my when I'm talking, rather when I'm on the screen, I'm looking like the Matrix is trying to get to me. But whatever. We'll keep pressing on because that's what they want to do. They want to silence us. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, so did you hear all that I was talking about before with the fact that these Saudi Arabians, it's still business as usual with them, right? So again, while we're having the tears and all this stuff going on, these dudes said it's still business as usual. We're going out here. We worried about the oil right now, right? And I'm just like, again, in my mind's eye, I'm thinking some of this stuff is not real. Some of this stuff is very fugazi. Okay. I'm gonna read again out of the Economist. It says here, hundreds of bankers and executives will descend on Rada this week for a flashy investment. Now, this was this morning that I read this out of the Economist on Instagram. They're I won't say they're a national publication, so they're legit. Like, I'm not pulling it from somebody who's an amateur journalist. Like, this is a real publication, and I like it because it is called The Economist. And I want to know what's going on with the money. Like, no disrespect. I mean, you know, my heart goes out to some of the people that are out there that are really, there are innocent people, but the name of the game is money. It's a monopoly. And why do you think they're going to war with each other? It's not because of the religion. But you got people out here. You have some Muslim dude on Brooklyn train throw this Jewish woman. I don't know what it was. I can't even remember what the hell the whole story was, but he's mad because of who she is, and he throwing her under the train. Hey, come on. Right. So we have to use our discernment. Hollow, that's right. Because how do we really know? They've been doing CGI and all kinds of AI now. And what was the other thing before CGI? It was something else that they were using out there in Hollywood that we were like, whoa, Terminator. Those movies are your blueprints back in the 80s to show you how they can get away with stuff. Did they not show us some ultra futuristic reality? They've been pushing that envelope for 30 plus years, damn near 40. Bring Brother May back up.
Okay, my fault. Hold on, let me turn down my radio. All right, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, much better.
Okay, yeah, it's my tablet, man. When we got that alert, that was the only device I didn't shut off, so it's been acting a little funny. But I noticed
that's interesting.
Sometimes it's StreamYard too. So back to what I was trying to say is that so they had a protest out here in Boston for Palestine, and you know, similar to where you at, we're very diverse in a lot of cultures. You know what I mean? Whether it's Brazil, Portuguese, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, Haitian is very big, Jamaicans is very big out here. So anyways, they had a big protest, and it goes back to, I'm gonna kind of echo what you were saying earlier, like, no disrespect to any other country, any other nationality that's got some turmoil going on, okay? But what about us out here? You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I was trying to find the article in like show it on, showing on your platform real quick. It said there's a city that is paying every family, every immigrant family that comes in to our land is getting $9,000 off rip, just $9,000. That's not even talking. Yes. I was trying to find it because I told a few people, and me, I don't like to talk about something that I can't show a proof on. So that way the person can, let me see that article, or share that to me, or send me the link. Let me go look at it for myself, because I don't like to put my beliefs or what I think on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But just like I had put in the comment too, there's something going on the other end that you mentioned about Dominican and Haiti. That's on the same land, same island, but there's the separation. Dominican Republic had shut their borders and basically told the Haitian government, hey, we don't want y'all in our country, but I'm paraphrasing. But we'll definitely still take your money. So it's like going to the corner store and the owner of the corner store doesn't respect his customers, but want people to spend money at that store. You get what I'm saying? And we tend to do that a lot. Hey, Foxy's selling this. She's selling t-shirts. Oh, why would I buy a t-shirt from Foxy? She thinks she's this and that, but I'll go spend that same amount of money, if not more, to somebody that really don't respect me. I'm going to say it in a simple form. I don't want to be too disrespectful. It's like you're talking to me and you're like, Mel, pardon my back. You get what I'm saying? Like they showing you their back. They showing you no respect at all, but you still frequent this store, this restaurant, whatever. And they really don't care about our nationality. They don't care about us. They don't, it's just about the money for them. So, and I made a comment about it on the Haitian page, and I got like over 500 likes on the comment about Dominican Republic need to humble themselves.
Did you have your flag? Did you have your flag showing?
Oh yeah, I mean it's like that too on IG, right behind my name. So it's more 1804. So whoever knows what the 1804 stands for, it's not my house number, it's not my street block. You know what I'm saying? So they should know. So I made a comment, it's very simple. And I was just like, yo, Dominican Republic needs to humble themselves, because without us, there is no them. And I just learned this myself. And I just turned 47, weeks ago on a Saturday. I on the 15th of October, I learned that Haiti wasn't the first Black republic to get their independence, wasn't the first. They also helped every country in South America to free slavery. So they did a lot that we're never going to be taught. You know how we talk about information, we got to go search for it. They don't want you to know who you really are, where you come from, and all of that.
I found out Jamaica was doing that too. Back, I don't know if it was right around that time or before that time, but yeah, they would. Yeah,
correct.
Because the same people that got dropped. Wait, hold on.
No, go ahead.
Mayback. The same people that got dropped off in Haiti or Hispaniola got dropped off in Jamaica, Cuba, Puerto Rico.
Correct. Dominican Republic, all those. That's why, remember we talked about it like at least 2 to 3 times on your platform, like the natives that occupied that land before the Jamaicans or before the Puerto Ricans, before, how you say it again? Taínos, right? Is that, I keep messing it up, the pronunciation. Taínos. There you go. So, and this is another thing that I learned. When Haiti got the independence, America and France occupied their land as well, and was trying out ballistics and all this crazy stuff. So this is what I'm saying, like, we will never really know what really happened in these places, because at the end of the day, it's still someone writing a story, and maybe there's some facts to it. Maybe it might be 60% facts, and then the other 40 is their opinion on what might have happened. But basically all I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, this is my own opinion. This has nothing to do with the Foxy Moon Premier's platform, educational purpose use only. My opinion is we need to worry about what's going on out here, like you said, because something's going to happen. Like, you can feel it. I don't know about anybody else, but I be feeling it. And I'm very intuitive, you know what I'm saying, on frequency. When I walk in the room, I'm sizing up the room. I'm feeling people's energy. So I can feel it in the air that something is about to happen, because the administration now just said that something's going to happen. Prepare for it. There's going to be a shortness of food. I've been hearing about the blackout a lot. Like we might not have no TV, no internet, no radio, no nothing. And that's been in my mind at least for 15 years. You know, people that's on this type of topic and on this type of time, this is what they're talking about. You know, so we need to prepare. Like, why? Like, I get it. And what's the saying go? The person who controls the narrative basically controls everything else. So like you said, paraphrasing off what you saying earlier,
right?
You know, some of the stuff from what I'm being told from people that is, I don't even want to put their credentials out there, but they credible sources that's saying some of this stuff that we're being broadcast is not really what's going on, such as like what you talking about with the women and the children. Some of it, I'm not like you said earlier, I can only say this. I'm not over there, you know, so I really don't know what's happening. You know what I'm saying? But from some people that I know that's over there is saying it's not, it's a little bit exaggerated, if that makes sense. I would just leave it at that. A little bit it's a little, you know, it's like taking a paper cut and I'm telling you, I might have to get my finger, amputated. You get what I'm saying? And it's only a paper cut. So exactly. So no, but go ahead.
Well, I want to shout out now, it's Scorpio season. All right. So no disrespect to Maybach. I hollered at you. I've been hollering at you. Libra season. But let's roll out the Scorpio season. Shout out to Ultra. Shout out to Lotus. But that also has to that also has to do with Scorpio is that dying energy, right? The resurrection, but it's dying. Everything, even if you look at the seasons, it comes in that season of there's this ending. Especially on the northeast side of the United States, like a Boston, like New York, like Vermont, Maine, Connecticut. You see the leaves changing quicker than it gets down to the southern or southern west states. So that's symbolic. And the president that's of the United Snakes is also a Scorpion. He's a Scorpio.
I didn't know that.
So I think, and water signs, I'm going to bring it into the zodiac really quickly. The zodiacs, especially in the water elements, are they're sensitive, emotionally, spiritually, mainly those two, right? So this president, if you take a look at him, he's very, like, I don't want to say crybaby-ish, but there's something very emotional about him. And then you look at Trump, who's a Gemini, and Geminis are like a Libra or a Leo or Aquarius. They kind of they shoot from the hip. No filter, no chaser.
Is it because it's an air sign or no?
Well, they are air. Yeah, Gemini and Libra are air signs. So a lot that they think a lot. There's more analytic, and Aquarius that they think more. Water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, that's the emotional side. So they're going to wear their heart on their sleeves a little bit more and think with their heart as opposed to thinking with their mind. Logic. Not to say that they don't think with their mind. I'm just giving you the scenario of the two presidents that you have, that you can see the different dynamics of it all.
I mean, you see how one is really moving. Like, how many videos were you seen? Or how many, like, there's a guy who did a clip and he said if he put all the clips together of, the guy that's in office right now, he said it would be a 4-hour, 6-hour live of like, compared, like, as far, and I'm talking about like the way the other presidents function. Like, let's use Obama for an example. Great speaker, can capture the room. You know what I'm saying? You feel his energy. Yeah, you feel his energy, articulates himself, very well. I mean, he went to 2 prestige schools, Columbia and Harvard is good on that. They, as far as speaking, being a good speaker and all of that. So you see the difference compared to the guy now who's moving real slow, barely can finish a sentence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And stuff like that. So, correct. So, but go ahead.
Um. So yeah. So on the big playing field, you have this guy who we would deem emotionally incompetent to deal with the world players.
Mm-hmm.
And when you saw Trump, the Gemini, go up to the world stage,
Mm-hmm.
he had people in his back pocket,
Mm-hmm.
meaning he had people in check so that, and even if it didn't look like, even if they didn't, that's how I look at it. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm saying like this. He had Putin, they was in each other's back pocket. Like everything was everything.
Mm-hmm.
Putin's looking at this president here like, listen, I don't know about you. I'm gonna
Correct.
have to go do business somewhere else.
Correct. Trump already did a video about that. He said he said, you see, when I was in the office, I met up with these leaders, Putin and the one from China. He's like, did you see anything happen? Yeah, they threatened us, but nothing went down. He's like, once this guy gets into the office, there's chaos. It's dysfunctional.
But that's
Look at
the Scorpio energy. The Scorpio brings that type of disruption in a sense. The energy, not I won't say a Scorpio per se, but the energy
correct
comes in under that kind of god of war energy, like a Mars, like a Aries. They come in with that kind of energy.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Since you've been paying attention to politics, whether you're into it or you just, when it suits your, mood or whatever, however you want to phrase it, right? Have you ever, since you've been paying attention, have you ever seen a VP that is less seen? Can you remember a vice president? You see where I'm going with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this lady has yet to be seen. And the last thing that I seen on her was a few weeks ago where I don't want to say it's a streaker, but somebody came from the crowd and approached her and could have basically harmed her. It was like there was no security with her. I was like, yo, this president's right now that hasn't been president over 40 years, that they go into a high school to speak, they send Secret Service with them. This lady had no Secret Service. It was the host of, it was like, I don't know if you've seen it. I'm talking about Marla Harris was sitting on stage. She was at an event speaking, and this guy gets up on stage, and he wasn't going to harm her, but that's what it looked like. But he just wanted to get something off his chest. So he yanked the mic from her and was like, just going in. And two, women had to come close in front of Kamala and basically guard her from this person. And I'm like, wow, I've never seen this with any type of presidential, you get what I'm saying? Like whether it's a former president or active president or VP that goes somewhere and don't have no security whatsoever. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of stuff that don't look what it's like, you know what I mean? Like how you said psyop earlier. There's a lot of stuff that is, go ahead.
So I'm going to say this, and it's going to sound kind of sideways to women, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm more of a, I run in my masculine energy, first and foremost. And second of all, I know my place. Third of all, this is still a man's world. That woman is sitting in her place. They're not going to have her run, not in America. You could probably have a queen or a president out in any other country over there. But in America, I don't think in our lifetimes, maybe in our great grandkids' lifetime, they may have a woman president. But I'm telling you now, they're not having that. As long as those boys' clubs are still around, they're not going to have a woman visible in that regard.
Correct. Yo, Ultra, I like your comment, Ultra. Facts.
Period.
Yeah.
So while the feminists around here talking about, woman power, etc., etc. Yeah, yes, there is a matriarch system. Correct. There has to be a balance, but when you're dealing with the corporation, correct, there's no balance in there. It's always been a men's club. You want to insert yourself, and I'm speaking you as women, want to insert
Mm-hmm.
yourself in those clubs,
Mm-hmm.
and now
And be
look at what's
accepted.
going on. Now you
Yeah, you want to
got
be
big,
accepted.
you want to be accepted, but now you got these big brolic dudes coming into the Girl Scouts. Like, stop it. Y'all, these feminists wanted to just assert themselves so bad and go
Mhm.
into Wall Street, and they wanted to be players, and they wanted to be in that cipher as well. There's still a handful of women that are in higher positions, but guess what? They're still not getting the kind of money that their male counterparts, and I'm talking about white male
Co-
counterparts,
Correct. Or
are
even the
making.
respect. Or even the respect either too.
Right.
To me, that's more important than like what you said, the salary or whatever. We already know the salary. You know, that's a whole nother conversation. You know how
Right.
because
But
look
what
look at
but
look at the
to bring to
yeah.
your point in regards to seeing
Mhm.
this vice president, because she is to be seen and not heard. That's what
Correct.
the woman's role is. And this is an old
Correct.
school way of thinking. You are to be seen and not heard, woman.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Know your place, and all
There
that other
you
stuff.
go. Know your
Mhm.
place. And
Yep.
all this, oh, I'm your sister girl, who she's really not a so-called what they
Yeah,
call
exactly.
foundational Black American. She's not. So she knows she's gonna suck it up and shut up.
Isn't that funny? When you do your research and you find the information, like you find the truth, you're like, wow. But they present this person like one of us, and she's not. You get what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
basically
yeah,
said,
yeah.
yeah. So it's just like, wow. But you told the story about your dad and where your father's from, but that's where you really from. You're not really from this land. You know what I mean? So it's just like it just be stuff that you just look at and you're just like,
And
yo.
that's what some of the Caribbean, let's be like, she's more like our family. You get what I
Mhm.
mean? Like, that's
Yeah,
more
yeah,
that
correct.
Caribbean foreign
Correct.
coming in. That's
Correct.
not your
Correct.
foundational Black person who's been here
Correct.
all along, even though the
Correct.
Caribbeans has been here as well. Like, that's a whole nother, story.
Correct. Correct.
And we've been on
Correct.
that. But she's
Correct.
coming in as a straight up foreigner, even though
Correct. Yeah.
she went to school. She wasn't even raised here. Her mom
Exactly.
took her from Canada from Cali when they were little, and went up to Canada and lived with the
Mhm.
grandmother. So it's not
Oh,
like
but
she grew up in America. She went to college here. That's a whole another ball game. You are a full-fledged adult at that point. You didn't go through the strifes and the struggles like the person here in America did. And the
correct.
stories about how you was bussed back and forth. Just cut it out.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
exactly. But see, that's what we've been. See, this is the problem though. When we get these fake leaders, right? The ones that they pick for us, because they already told us if you get
Selective.
one, yeah, selected, whatever, we pick them for you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, whatever. So you already know whose side she's on. So they
Mhm.
use somebody that looks like us, talks like us, whatever, and we
Mhm.
just get mesmerized by that. And we don't really go in depth and find out, let me dig into a little bit. Like, you know, how we would do due diligence. Oh, Foxy wants to roll with us. Let's find out about her first before we accept her in our circle. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, when we was in
Exactly.
high school and all that, we did that. So why we
Right.
don't do that on this land? That's why I be looking at stuff. It's like, yo, it's basic. Like a lot of stuff that, you know, we've been told with stuff that we can experiment to find out the truth. Like, you know, when we had science class, little basic experiments that we can do. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And stuff like that. You know, so but it's just like, listen, man, like I said,
Well,
look at all the money.
what she did was pander to the so-called, because what she said was, I'm a woman of color, and she's not lying. She is a
Mhm.
woman of color,
Correct.
but she's not what they call the foundational so-called Black American woman,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
So she catered to saying, I'm your sister girl. She threw on Tim's and catered to the New Yorkers, and I'm down with the program. And then she's talking
Mm-hmm.
about
Mm-hmm.
Tupac on the West Coast and all this other nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't talk like that with her white counterparts. I
Mm-hmm.
doubt she talks like that to her white husband.
Listen,
So
there's a lot
now
of
you've been hoodwinked and fooled into thinking, once again, that this person has got your best interests.
mm-hmm.
Just like Barry got us in the chokehold because we looking at him on the color of his skin because he is a person of color as well.
Correct.
But he's not a foundational Black American at all. He's African and German. Period.
Why you think Trump kept asking for the? Why you think Trump kept asking for the real birth certificate? Remember the real one, not the one that says Hawaii on it. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
But yeah, exactly. And this is another thing that got me too. When I had to do research, because I almost got bamboozled as well. I was running with the stuff about Trump. Oh yeah, he is prejudiced. He is prejudiced. And then a homie of mine sent me a bunch of clips. I'm like, yo, look at this dude chilling with Arsenio Hall. Look at him chilling with Snoop. Look at Trump chilling with.
He's been hanging with foundational so-called Black American. Tyson.
No, but you know how it is. Stuff that happened in the 80s, right, Foxy? Stuff that wasn't on. They had to upload it on social media. So once all of this stuff got uploaded, remember, this is after the fact.
No, but we knew this in New York because he's from New York. So we knew he was hanging out with Tyson. He was in the trenches. Like he was doing, every rapper wanted to be like him back in the 90s. They wanted that kind of money.
You know how many rhymes? I remember Raekwon, infamous rap line. Now who's the Black Trump? You get what I'm saying? Like stuff like that. Raekwon said it on the Purple tape. Now who's the Black Trump? Like, come on. They all was praising, like you said, they always uplifting this man and praise and talking about him in a good way, not in a bad way, as far as making the money, having the money, the wealth that his family comes from and all of that. No one said anything about racist when that man's name was put in the sentence. You get what I'm saying? But as soon as he, he's running, oh, he's against y'all. Don't vote for him. He hates y'all. But the real guy that really don't like us, and the footage is still out there, where he's saying, I don't want integration. They act like animals. I don't want my kids going to school with them. That man said that. And this is why I was trying to get on Philly OG's platform that day when you was on there and the thing was working.
Yeah.
Because there was one little thing. Everything you said was right. You said it was Mayor Giuliani. It wasn't him who wrote that crime bill. The crime bill was written by the guy who's in the White House right now, 1994, to stop and frisk.
Yeah, but Giuliani was running with them when they did that.
Yes, correct. Yeah, and he was one of the guys, just like Mass. They was pushing that. There was certain states they was pushing that real heavy. And why was one of them? Boston was another one. I caught some charges off of that. Just minding my business, walking down. And I always say this, y'all can look this up because Netflix did a documentary about it. The Sean Bell story that happened out here in Mass. You know what I'm saying? It was a Charles Stewart story that happened where there was a police officer who got, deleted, and they was blaming this black man, and this black man had nothing to do with it. The other one in the early 90s where Boston was upside down was Charles Stewart, was a white man who deleted his pregnant, wife, and he lied. Yeah, he lied and said it was a black man. And they went to the nearest project called Mission Hill Project. That's one of our infamous projects out here. And they was tearing it inside out, trying to find the person who deleted this man's wife. And come to find out, the brother had to come out and tell the truth and said, oh no, it was my brother who did it. It wasn't no black man. But y'all could look all of this stuff. Netflix did documentaries on it. So this is what I'm saying, where we still going through this. People act like, the prejudice stuff is not going on. No, it still goes on in every city, every state. Not as bad as it was in the early 50s and 60s, but it still goes on with work and everything. Look at, they said, I watched a documentary somebody put together about car insurance. They said car insurance, they lied to us and said, oh, well, Foxy, you're paying a lot more because where you live at, there's high crimes, there's high theft. That's all a lie. It's based on our skin tone. We get charged more off of our skin tone, but they tell us it's the area. And I'm like, yo, wow, they did that in the housing. They did that with housing too. Melanated folks was trying to buy houses in the suburbs, and they made all the excuses in the world to not sell that house to the melanated folk. But then the clear person comes with no problems, no questions asked, they got the home. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, I seen Panero drop.
And that was, I don't know if his connection was off. And that's that was by design, that's by fault. It's gotten a little bit of, like you said, but they still have a way to finesse and have the melanated people come out of pocket, or if not, keep them in poverty and keep them poverty stricken. Right, redlining Ultra. And
Correct.
so
Ultra's on
you
it, man. He's in the chat active. Sorry, I had to
hmm
say that.
I'm so happy to see him.
So
That's my
Ultra,
brother.
man.
That's my brother coming from the red pill, the blue pill, KTL. Man,
Okay.
I said it
Yeah,
earlier
you
that
be everywhere. You be. I don't want to say you be everywhere like it's a bad thing. You be
no,
in the areas. No, I have to correct that. I mean, you know what I mean by it, but to those who might be listening, might take it as, oh, she's in every chat. No, you're where you need to be at, and the people that that you respect, you like, you love their content or like their content, and actually is saying something. So that's why I had to clean that up,
yeah,
because
I had to
nowadays.
clean it up myself because it looks like I'm for the street.
No, that you didn't even have to. That's why I was like, hold on, let me clean that up. Let me do it. You know what I'm saying? I know you know what I mean by that. But
I know I had to clean
yeah.
it up for myself because I was saying, damn, I sound like I be in them streets.
No, not the
I do be
YouTube
in them
streets.
streets.
No, you be in the YouTube streets, but you be in the
Right.
streets where you need to be. This is what I'm saying. It's like me. I'm in the YouTube streets, but I'm in the YouTube streets where it's of substance. I can come out
Exactly.
learning something and gaining something, instead of, oh man, we're perpetuating the same thing on YouTube streets now. You get what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not. No
The
disrespect
dumb
to those
shit.
sections. Yeah, no disrespect to those content creators. Get your money however you get it. I'm not pocket watching. It's just not for me. That's not my cup of coffee or my cup of tea. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Right. So that's all.
Yeah, and like I will channel, maybe go into, if I see something left and there's people that are talking about other content people in a negative way that I've rocked out with, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going here. Because
I wanted to give you your flowers, Pardon Self too. You co-host Philly OG's show that day. Like I said, you was on point, and a few questions that you got, like, you didn't try to just say anything. You was just like, oh, I don't know too much about that. It was one question that you got. You didn't really want to talk too much about it. I think you was on the Realist McCoy one time. You was asked, was it the religion question or Bible? You remember what I'm talking about? I can't remember the platforms, but yeah, I remember the interactions very well. And I like that. Like, you don't just try to say anything just to say anything. You know what I mean? You're like, hey, listen, I don't have information on that. I can't answer that, but I can give my opinion if you would like that. You get what I'm saying? So I like the fact that you did that. Salute, Panero. Salute, brother. How's it going out? How's it going out there, man? What's going on in the UK, brother?
Yeah, no, everything's good, man. I just buried one of my close friends on Friday, but apart from that, everything's blessed, man.
Oh man, my condolences, brother. Yeah. My condolences, man.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of this YouTube thing, you know. But no, everything's good, man. What's going on, Foxy? You good?
I'm good. Thank you for coming up here.
Yeah, all right, man.
I miss you.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. I miss you too. You know what I mean? I'm just I ain't really been that active on YouTube. You know what I mean? But as you can see, I do put out a.
Life goes on.
You did put out some videos, though.
Well, are we lost? Contact?
I'm still here. I think it might be his audio. Panero.
It's on mute. Okay. So moving along. Okay, yeah, we got you.
Oh, I muted it. Yeah. So basically, I'm not doing like I'm working more behind the scenes, but yeah, a week won't go past and I won't put out something. You know what I mean? So it's like
yeah,
that sort of thing. You know what I mean? I big up Ultra. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Salute, Ultra.
Yeah, that cancer thing ain't no joke, man.
Yeah, I know.
So what are you talking about today? What's going on?
So this whole thing now, so the title is Spiritual and Cosmic Alignments, and we're tapped in that respect. But I did a Mindful Monday back in April, and there was a solar eclipse that was happening around that time in Libra.
Yeah, I remember.
Right? Thank you. And then we had another solar eclipse in October, well, this month, the 14th in Libra season.
Yeah.
And did you notice
So-
that? Did you notice that the one this year wasn't really that promoted like the others? Did you notice that?
Yeah, because it was a partial solar eclipse at that. So it wasn't this big total eclipse. So they're not going to make a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
Which one? The 14th one? The one that happened on the 14th?
It was a partial solar eclipse.
Yeah, they were saying you needed some special like glasses to look at it. It can mess up your eyes or something.
Yeah, you always need glasses to look at it. I'm still looking at it. And I looked at it. And I looked at the blood moon. I'm out there for all that.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that moon, the blue moon too. I was out there. I still got my video on that, the blue moon. I recorded that too as well.
So with that conversation, Brother Pinero, is that you see what's going on out there in what they call the High Holy Land, right? And it happened to fall in that solar eclipse this past week or last week.
Yeah, it always does. But yeah.
Bingo. And so I wanted to just kind of tap in today and talk about the alignments and how I don't want to say it was predicted of what I was saying, but what I was picking up on intuitively back in April, right? And just letting shit settle and letting it die down. And then boom, I didn't know that we were going to have this eclipse. And then to have all that stuff acting out over there in what they call the High Holy Land. So, maybe back and everybody in the chat has been chiming in, but some things are not as what they appear to be. And I don't want to take away from that there aren't innocent casualties of war happening out there. But we got to remember that, first of all, that land is still in Africa. Right? Some people really think that this little piece of land is like in its own little area away from continents and whatnot. It's in Africa still.
Yeah,
right?
I know. Yeah.
Correct.
Just like what they done. Just like what they done with Egypt when we was younger. But yeah, go on.
Made us think that it was a whole nother world. Like what? This shit is right here. What are you talking about?
Remember, Foxy, when we brought up the Kevin Hart making the comment about Egyptians are Africans and how they didn't like that.
Yeah, they didn't want him to perform. And then the second part, and I'm gonna let y'all talk. The second part of it is that people, I just realized, is that that area over there is still run by the Vatican. They don't want to tell you that part. They want you to think that this is some, religious warfare going on, yada yada yada. No, it has one to do with money. To do with land, and still being ruled by the Vatican, who still rules Washington, London, and New York City. Period.
Facts.
So go ahead, Brother Pinero.
Yeah. So like you're saying, that most of these things, like I've always, when there's an eclipse and them things there, or a blood moon, there's always something attached to. I done a video a little while back about the battle rappers and that. What's that? Do you know about battle rap, Mac? Because did you? What's that guy's name, man? He's with he's got not Smack, the other one, the white guy that's got the thing over the other side where Disaster and them lot go. He was saying that he does his shows on them dates.
I didn't know that.
You know what I'm saying? I put the video out. I done the video last year, but he was saying that he puts out all of these shows on on these special dates, bro.
Wow.
So there's obviously a spiritual side behind all of that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Correct.
Which they don't teach us. You know what I mean?
Correct.
They don't want us to know the truth, because obviously we could probably do our own good rituals and stuff like that on them days if we knew what we was doing.
Correct.
So they hide a lot of that still. You know.
I wanted to ask y'all that too.
I did.
I wanted to get y'all.
I did a nice spiritual bath that day, because I was like,
I wanted to ask y'all what's y'all opinion on some of that stuff that happened. Do y'all think that these prophecies that we read about or we've been told about, do y'all feel that it's happening naturally or it's happening synthetically? Meaning they doing it,
I know what you mean, or they're pushing it, or is it happening naturally?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think that these people know. I think they've got so much information that they've hidden from us, yeah. I think they know when certain things are about to happen. They just don't know the final date. That's what I think. Do you know what I mean? So and obviously they got technology as well. You know what I mean? That tells them certain things before we know. You know? And also we know they got technology to control certain things. Do you know what I mean? So I'm not really sure. You know, I just think it's 50-50. I think they know when certain things are gonna happen, because I guarantee you, when they get information about certain things that happen, they're straight in their bunkers, mate. Yeah.
Correct. You're right.
You get what I'm saying? So they must have certain information of certain things.
Correct.
Don't forget they deal with remote viewers and fortune tellers, man. You understand?
Oh yeah.
So when it comes to the government or the elites, it's a whole different situation of technology they're dealing with.
Correct.
Because right now I heard they're going around looking for certain man that's got certain DNA and them thing there. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now that's how I feel too, brother. I'm with you on that. It's like I'm 50-50 with it. You know what I mean? It's just certain things that, you know, the real news will never be broadcast. You got to go find the real news. And when you're seeing weather type of things happening all around, you know what I mean? You're like, whoa, how come this ain't being told to me? You know what I mean? But something else is being pushed. And you know how we talk about the distractions to get people to focus on one thing or to get people's emotions. Listen, I watched a movie last night. It's a real great movie. It's called The Creator. And you know, we always talked about this. You said it on your platform, Foxy. We all already noticed they put a lot of the truth in movies. You know what I'm saying? But watch The Creator. And it's certain things that in that movie last night that I watched. The only thing that I don't like about that movie, it's super long. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes, whatever. So I came out the movies like almost 1 o'clock in the morning last night.
Oh, what is it? It's a new one, yeah?
Yeah, it's called The Creator. So I'll just give you a little sum up on it.
Yeah, go
It's about AI. So they mention New Asia. They don't mention the name that we know. They call it New Asia. New Asia's the one creating all the AIs, and they trying to have AI take over. But they're still humans. So the AI end up going to war with humans. Right. I'll just leave it at that. And there's this little kid, that holds basically all the information, is the super AI. Like they use the child to give the child. So basically as the child gets older, they gain more power and more control of AI, and they can control every type of AI. So everyone's trying to get a hold of this child. What's that? What is that?
I love that album, man. That's the album with, the album with I Get Around. No, that's not on that one.
Okay, I see.
Is I Get Around on that?
This is the one B.
Oh, that's Strictly for My Nick. Yeah, I know what that was.
Yeah, no, it is on there.
It's on there, isn't it?
Yeah,
man, I got that CD somewhere, man.
My son, I don't know what he was doing, but apparently these two were on my table. So I'm telling you, when I'm telling you that this is my boo-boo, this is my boo. Have you done a show about that yet? I've been riding. Listen, I did a show about it, brothers. Ooh, Jay Savage is in the building.
Come up here, man. Jump up here, man. Everyone get up here.
He never jumps up here, please. You know that by now. He's a silent but deadly character.
That's what I've been trying to be lately, man. A bit off grid.
That's how you gotta be sometimes. We gotta disconnect from the grid,
off of my platform, but I go into those YouTube streets, and for me, it's therapy, because like I'll see people now kind of like establish certain relationships and stuff like that, and so I'm in I'm in that arena. I'm not really Foxy, like holding it down for myself. I'm really like this out there. But I did a I talked
Kifi.
about, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I talked about the Kifi. And so side note now, with the cosmic alignments, we can come back to that. But just a side note with this whole Kifi D, like my husband and I, we kind of, he's like, I don't want to talk to you because you get, emotional. And my daughter came to me like 2 days ago. She was like, "Ma, you like Jada?" And I'm like, "Wow, you know what? You're right. I am like that."
Now, Jada
he was my man. He proposed to me before.
Yeah, Jada's tripping. She's telling bare lies on the dead.
Yo,
Yeah.
listen. But see, this again. Things like that make me go. Who came out with that saying? Things that make you go, hmm. So for
Mhm.
27 some odd years, right? You've been silent. And now all of a sudden, because you're pushing out a book, you're doing your little interview tours now, and now you
Clout
exposing stuff.
chasing.
Yeah, and it's like, yo, your story don't even align. I don't even need to do new research. Tupac was mainly known with two women,
Hey,
Quincy
listen.
Jones's daughter and this other woman. Yeah, we
He,
know he knew you and y'all went to school together, but other than that, there was nothing else said, yo. And then it's just like, yo, to me, she's not really embarrassing herself. She's embarrassing Will Smith, and to me, it's making a mockery out of Tupac. Because you never said anything when he was alive. You get what I'm saying? Like, the
yeah,
man
man.
was alive. Why didn't you say how you feel or whatever when he was alive so he can rebuttal?
If
That's
Janet
how I
Jackson,
feel.
if Janet
Yeah,
Jackson
exactly.
came out and said that, I'll believe her because the way he was looking at her in the movie, but not her, man. I don't know, man.
Yeah, for real. He really wanted
So
Janet.
my
Mm-hmm.
take about the situation that's going on with Keefe D
Mm-hmm.
is that, and I had to bring that FBI war out on Tupac Shakur and other Black leaders yesterday to my husband, because he's, like, I get what he's saying, because he knows about that, like, not knows about that life. Let's make a correction, but he's been out there like that. He knows more of the street life than I do, but though I'm not a street person per se, I have my ear to the ground on certain things, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, Keefe D is the modern day Lee Harvey Oswald. He's a Patsy in this whole
Patsy.
thing. And they
Yeah,
gotta
yeah.
make it stick. Why? Because when I did my little dissertation like 2 weeks ago in regards to this case,
Mm.
the Alphabet Boys have been stirring the pot for decades. The COINTELPRO is all about disrupting and agitating what they want to call so-called gangs and any type of political leaders, any type of political movements. They go in there and they disrupt the scheme of things, right? So
Correct.
Keefe is what you want to call, like, that's what I said. To me, he's a Saran to Robert Kennedy. He's a Lee Harvey Oswald to John Kennedy. They're going to have to make it stick, even though he has his lawyer. And I was just watching a little bit of the lawyer's interview, because it's not his lawyer just yet, but the lawyer for Keefe D that's going to represent Keefe D is saying, first of all, he wants to get him out, right? Rightfully so. He says he's not a flight risk. He's been living in the same area in Nevada for 11 years. So clearly he wasn't going anywhere. Then what they're trying to make this say is that, oh, he was given admission by going on these social media. He didn't go and say, I did it, right?
Correct.
He just said, I was in it and I was around it. So that's what we call in, or not we, but what they call in law, acting in concert. You're just in it, but you didn't actually do it. So that's why that's not going to stick. Secondly, my big cat's in the building. Secondly, your main people that are out that were like witnesses, they're pretty much gone. The girls, the women that were behind Pac's and Suge's car, if they're still alive, they could probably testify.
Correct. They saw everything. They
Right.
seen everything. Let me ask you a question, right? Let me ask you a question. The name that he mentioned about the payment that they received, but he never got. How do you feel about that guy? What do you think will happen to that person?
What can be done? That's like, I owe you. I have Brother Pinero do something, and I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Like it's all kind of like hairspray. And I don't think there's anything going to be done with that guy, because he got the money, but what's the paper trail? Why did he get the money?
This is what puzzles me still with this case, right? 27 years later, I got ties to LA and I got people in Vegas. In both of those cities, they telling me everyone streetwise knew who did what, when it happened, when it didn't happen. This is no surprise. This everybody was saying, especially in LA, they knew, right? It was all over LA who did it, whatever. The dude is already on audio talking, and they said to him, You don't have immunity. This can be used against you if witnesses come up. So even if it's 30 years later, we can convict you of this. I don't know, I know Boozy said recently in an interview, every Vlad interview he does, Vlad pays him 40,000. I don't know if that's true or not. So I don't know how much Keefe D was getting paid, but bro, they already told you this can be used against you. Why is he going on that
Who
guy's
told him
platform?
that? Who told him that?
The Kincaid guy, because the Kincaid guy got the audio of Keefe D saying the same thing that he said on Vlad and that he said in the book that's written in the book that he put out. This can be used against him.
But that's a lawyer, right? That's a lawyer. Huh? Is that a lawyer or is that a cop?
No, that's a LA police officer, the Kincaid,
right?
The white.
So the lawyer who was just talking on I think it's called Law and Order. I watch on YouTube. They are it's kind of like it's court TV, but it's like a offshoot to court TV. But they show live cases going on, and
they break them down.
Able to watch the Extension case because that case still bothers me. That hurt my heart with that little boy. Y'all know this. Y'all know how I feel about Pop Smoke. Like that hurt my heart because my son is their age, and so But anyway, so the lawyer said he hasn't gone through the 600-page transcript, grand jury transcript, but lawyer and cop, like the cops know some legality, but they don't know how they can get a person off. That's the lawyer's job.
Correct.
So even if Keefe D says, now, if he didn't read the contract of Agent Vlad, and say, oh, what I'm going to be said is going to be used against me, I highly doubt that Keefe would have signed.
No, not Vlad, but I think I can't remember what's his name, Cadian or whatever.
The white, I know exactly what you're talking about.
In the audio, he says to Keefe D, you can hear the audio. It's on YouTube, whatever. He says, this is not an immunity. So this can be used against you if there's witnesses that comes up, and you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like he had immunity. So this is what I'm saying. Like to me, it makes no sense. Pinero's telling me, yo, Maybach, you cannot talk about this. And if you do, it doesn't matter if it's 40 years later, this can be used against you. Why would I be blatantly? This is what I'm trying to say. I get what you're trying to say. Technically,
what was he saying that was so blatant?
He was saying the same thing.
That I was in the car with them?
Yes, and he was saying everything on Vlad, and this is what I'm saying too, like you said. Yeah,
man said that he saw people in the car. He said he saw he saw Tupac look at him and all types of mad stuff.
Correct.
So he's acting. Hold on. Have you either one of you done jury duty?
No. I can't do it here. They don't let people do it here that's got criminal record.
Oh,
right.
If
you got a record, you can't do it. Yeah,
right. Correct. So therefore, I just came last year, as a matter of fact, to this date, I did a grand jury, criminal grand jury at that. So I can see a little something when that case, because simultaneously, while I was in grand jury, the Extension case was out. So and that's criminal. So what they were saying, I was like, like I knew what was going on because I was listening. It was grand jury, and grand jury is before it goes to trial. People. So for those that don't know about like the way things work, because they like when they hear, especially with President Trump, they hear indictment, they're like, oh, got him. No, you don't.
They don't know
just have enough evidence to now bring him into court and ask questions. It doesn't go to trial right away, and he doesn't go into jail right away. So that's
nothing's going to happen to him. Nothing's going to happen to him.
Well, I'm just trying to explain to people that may not have an understanding with some of the and
correct.
I've never been locked up, but I have family members that have, and I've always been in some kind of criminal court.
Yeah.
So I paid attention. I had to talk to lawyers. I had to get that legal jargon in. I had to do letters. Trust me when I tell you that I'm the outside. When your family's doing bids or whatever however y'all call it, when the person who's locked up, your family's doing the time with you.
Yeah, your family, that's a fact. That is a fact.
So a lot of the stuff with the years of me having to go back and forth to court, things of that nature, and them doing grand jury. I was like, So that's why I'm like, this Keefe D thing is not really going to hold weight. And I'll tell you what, my speculation is, and again, a disclaimer, I'm not a legal professional, medical professional, none of that. Okay. My speculation is that they will get him on some trumped up drug charges. He'll do a couple of years and then he's out.
Correct. All right.
Because Ultra can get in because he's been trying to pop in and something was going on. Brother,
hello?
Salute.
What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Chilling. Salute.
What's good?
Glad to be here with y'all. Figure out slot through for a hot second.
You're my brother from another mother in another place.
Hold on, let me.
Okay, fix your audio. But yeah, so that's my take, Brother Pinero and Brother Maybach. That's
how you feel about Pinero? What do you feel about that case?
I just think he's an idiot, bro. I'm just being honest. Like, I don't understand. Like, you claim to be, you go on the internet, you do all these shows talking about you're this and you was that gangster and that. And instead of all of that, do that.
3 airplane tickets, but
Who's that?
Ultra, mute up real quick.
Mute up, bro.
Yeah, we can hear your convo. I don't think he knows that.
Yeah, please don't say nothing.
incriminating.
Yeah, don't be Keefe D on here.
Oh shit!
Please don't. I do not need to be indicted. Matter of fact.
Yeah, I just thought he was a joke, man. I just think it, and I hope that I'm glad they know. I'm half glad that he messed up because I want the youth them to see how dumb some of these guys are on the internet that keep talking their personal business.
Correct.
Even someone said to me they wanted to interview me and ask me about my life before this. I said, "What are you talking about, bro? Like, forget all that, mate. Yeah, I got away with so much shit, mate. Like, I ain't talking about none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, end of the day, it's like, yeah, man, it's just a big grown man like that to come online and the clout chasing epidemic is crazy. He's the biggest clout chaser. Like,
correct.
You know what? On that same it's called LA Court or something. Not LA Court, it's called Law Court or Law something like that. But anyway, there was the old ex-retired rather police chief out in Brooklyn giving his weigh-in with the Keefe D. So I was like, let me go into the chats right away, into the comment section and see what they're saying. Because if I'm listening to what they're listening to, I know they're like, who is this and what is he talking about?
Correct.
Again,
chat to let you know.
Again, cops have a certain job to do, right? And lawyers have a certain job to do. While a cop can speak on certain things, you're not a lawyer. So you can't really talk about certain things that's not making sense. So this and he had a lot of controversy, this particular cop. Oh, well, he was a retired NYPD chief officer. And he came from, his background was he used to hang out or run with circles of Supreme Team out in Queens. And that was back in, and anybody knows about those guys, they was big time get money dudes, right? And he diverted from that because he was about to catch a case running in that circle, or if not, they was going to get him. So he left, went to the military, came back, and then
I know who you're talking about now. I don't remember his name, but yeah, I know. Yep.
So he ended up, Brother Smitty's in the building, Snackables. He ended up going to sign up with the police department of all things. But in hindsight, it was like, he was a footman out there in the community. So he knew who to tell, like, leave women and children off the table. He knew how to kind of push the crowd a little bit. So in hindsight, that worked out. And I think he had some pushback because there was some controversy that happened while he on his job. And I think people would like oh, this dude is dirty. Like you got
Mm-hmm.
this dirty dude on your as an
On the force.
NYPD.
Mm.
Yeah, but y'all
So
known for that though. Anyways, y'all known for that.
big time, big time. There's nothing new with that.
What's the precinct again? That was in Brook. Was it 73rd or whatever in Brooklyn or something like
75th,
that? Yeah. So yeah.
75th, and then we
There
had
you
the
go.
seven, and
Yeah.
then we had the 4-1 and the 4-3 in the
Yeah.
Bronx.
They did
That were
movies and documentaries about those precincts and how
that's
they,
right. That's how
they had to
bad
clean
and
it out.
corrupt they are.
Yeah, they had to clean it out from the top,
So
bottom to top. But go ahead. Yeah.
right. So anyway, this police officer, this retired captain now
Mm-hmm.
weighs in on this KPD thing,
Mm-hmm.
and he sounds like us talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he has the credentials as a police officer, but it almost just sounds like barbershop talk. And I'm like, you on a law panel, like why are you talking like and then I'm like, that's not even your case. Like you out in New York, like this is Las Vegas, like. And even though cop is cop, but it's still like, I don't know, like he wasn't really like making sense of it, and I think he couldn't talk too much about it because it is like he's kind of like tale of two cities, if you get what I mean. Like there's certain things you can't talk about, and then as a cop, like I can only weigh in on that, but then like on the underground stuff, like I can't talk about that.
Correct.
So I was like, that's not the perfect person to have on that channel. Like with all due respect, like, you needed a lawyer to come in and kind of weigh in on this situation
and weigh in. Correct. Yeah.
But brother Ultra, brother Hollow,
Yo,
what's cooking?
shoot, I'm just chilling, really. To be honest, this is the time that I'll be asleep right now. I'll be working a graveyard shift.
What's your you're coming from the graveyard shift?
Yeah,
Okay.
but once I get home, I end up having to stay up so I can get my daughters to school. So I
Gotcha.
end up being a little longer than usual.
Yeah.
But what's happening now?
I mean, we just chopping it up to what's good out there with the politics and
Oh,
talking about Keefe D now. And
and you know what I wanted to mention though from earlier when you was talking about the eclipse. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know if you saw my comment or not, but there were these crescent-shaped prints of sand, but not in the dirt, on the concrete. It's like I don't know how the energy affected it, but there were crescent shapes of sand on the concrete out by my
Mm.
garbage can. And I really didn't think nothing of it. I mean, I saw it, I noticed it because I've never noticed it before. So I took notice to it, but I hadn't coincided it with the eclipse until I was watching somebody's channel of this brother from Oakland named Subtle Infinity. He does he got a channel where he pieces together these TikTok videos, a
Mhm.
whole bunch of conspiracy type stuff. And somebody did a video about these weird these weird prints that the eclipse supposedly left on the ground. And I was like, wait, that sounds just like the prints that I saw out by the garbage can. Because a lot of stuff, I see it, I hear it, and I may take it in, but that don't mean I'm gonna necessarily believe it.
Right.
But it just kind of tripped me out, and I was wondering if you or anybody else has seen anything like that on the ground.
No, not me. I don't see nothing like that.
Not me personally. Nope.
Okay.
I just feel
Really
stuff.
cool.
Stuff like that happens, like blue moons and the blood moon, the orange moon, and I just feel like like not necessarily like a shift, but I feel like something inside of me like changes, if that
Right,
makes sense. You get what I'm
right.
saying?
It
That's
do.
that's the
It
type of
do.
stuff I feel. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not that sensitive, but I've had my moments where I've felt that change in myself. So I know what
Yeah,
you're talking about.
yeah. I do look up at the sky a lot, and I pay attention to they always said too, animals can give you some type of alert I guess.
Oh,
I don't want to say good
absolutely.
morning.
You know, they way more tuned in with nature than we've been in a long time.
Correct.
Right.
That's a fact. That's a fact. So, I just know that where I stay at in my state, I haven't seen pigeons in a long time. Haven't seen birds in a long time.
Really?
Cricket, yeah, yeah, seriously, for real. Like there's a train station that we have that's infamous in my city called Ashmont Station, and it was
Okay.
known, yeah, it was known for like when you go to the station to catch the bus or the train, you gotta be looking up because pigeons was everywhere. Now, when you go there,
Right.
bro, there's not
Nowhere to
even
be
one
found.
pigeon. Fact. So I pay attention to stuff like that.
Right.
Plus,
Right.
I can,
Absolutely.
yeah, yeah, so
Absolutely.
stuff like that. Like there's this channel, I forgot the name of it, that shows stuff like that when stuff is happening in the world, like hundreds miles away. Like how somebody could be like, oh, this war that's going on over there is not affecting me. That's how I used to speak too. And
Right.
until I would be around people that be like, okay, it's not affecting us today, but 2 years, 5 years from now, that's gonna affect us out here. So now
Right.
yeah, so
The
stuff like that. But
repercussions.
Right.
correct. But I'm just looking at all the money that is being sent now to this,
Man.
to yeah,
They it's like they sending everything they got over there.
facts, facts. You know what I'm
like
saying? That's
like
what
the
I've been
print
paying
machine is
attention
just running 24/7 and they just shoveling it over there.
to.
Absolutely. I don't know what they think they trying to do. They not finna stop nothing.
No, no,
They not
but
finna
like
Right.
stop
Foxy
Like
said,
nothing.
and
They
like
know what's
Fox
coming.
said, they got money for war but can't feed the poor.
For
facts.
sure.
That's a true saying. That's a true saying. We got. That's what I said. Like Foxy was saying, no disrespect to these people over there that's beefing. We do not have to police everybody's fight. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the problem that I have with. When I say us, we. I'm not talking about nobody on this panel. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
Right.
that's the problem. It's like, yo, bro, these people been warring with each other for the land, for religion, for whatever else they beef over. I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Let them handle their own stuff. But no,
That's what
we
they
gotta
finna
stick our
do.
nose. Yeah, they gotta keep sticking our nose, and everybody knows. You know what's the saying? You just follow the money, and you get the answer. That's
Right.
it. Follow the money, and you see who's benefiting from it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
that's
That's
just the
simple.
problem.
Well, I want to just talk about this really quickly because Brother Maybach just mentioned follow the money, and I had screenshot this
My
article
girl.
from The Economist, and it says why Saudi Arabia and the UAE want to keep links with Israel. And that's exactly what they're doing. It says hundreds of bankers and executives will descend on Yada this week for a flashy investment conference dubbed Davos in the desert. The money men will try to pretend it is business as usual, but the Middle East is boiling. Gulf states had hoped, for calm in the region this year to focus on ambitious plans to diversify their economies. Now, the Middle East's oldest conflict has roared back to life. The war between Israel and Hamas is threatening to trigger a broader conflict that draws in the Gulf states, whose booming economies are key to global oil and gas markets. So, yeah, I mean, there's a ripple effect. And again, like we said, we don't want to be disrespectful to anybody that is having any issues, family that has, been, involved directly or indirectly. But this is the money thing. This is the money scheme, and the administration that we have in the United States is so-called funneling out money to places that you've given them Ubers and Ubers of dollars, and we're out here in the poor neighborhoods struggling.
Correct.
And it's not making sense. Like the dollars are not adding up over here. And then you're
And people
seeing
crossing the border and coming over here and getting
right.
better than what we got right here.
Correct. They
How that
getting
work?
I don't know how true this is, Foxy, but someone told me, right?
It makes
Let's
sense.
just say, right, you on the list for housing, right?
Mhm.
And you're where you at, right? You're on the list. You've been on the list for a year, right? And they got the in you know, the influctuation of immigrants coming in, whether it's Haitian, whoever else, right? They
Mhm.
basically, this is what I'm hearing. I don't know, but they saying you're on the list for a year. This person just touched down in your state. They're being bumped up to housing, and you still gonna be pushed on the list. Now, does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's causing a problem. You're causing more situation because you're from this land. You've been on the list for housing. You already been waiting, right?
Right.
Now this person just comes out here and they given basically they bump this person and you've been standing in line for like a year. Let me paraphrase
Mhm.
that. Yeah, you've been standing in line for a year and this person
If
comes out
not
of
much
nowhere.
longer.
Yeah, and they escort this
Right.
person to the front of the line to get the services that you need, but they giving it to them. And now it's like, oh, you know, you can wait another year or two. You know what I'm saying? I
They
told you
do that.
nine.
They do that here as well, Mac.
Oh, I didn't
Speak
know
They do
on
that.
it,
that here.
brother. Speak on it, brother Panero, because you know we're all here on this side, but you know we don't
Correct.
know what's going
No,
on
it's
out there.
exactly the same. It's exactly the same as
Mhm.
what you said. Like people with certain
Uh,
priorities or immigrants, they go straight to the top, man. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah.
They'll get the 5-bedroom houses, 4-bedroom houses, everything. Now, I haven't got a problem with immigrants still. I just feel that the government should do the thing of where they should make it fair for
Correct.
everyone to
Man,
be balanced. You know what I mean? I'm not in
that's
the
it.
telling. I'm not in the telling no one where they can go. The world is our oyster. You
You
understand?
feel me?
But at the end of the
Facts.
day, obviously, if you're coming to touch some kids, we're not going to be having none of that. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
But if you
Correct.
lot, since we're talking about this, have you not been seeing those videos that have been? We can't say too much about it here, but
Right.
there's a lady. Let me try and break it down. How I can break it down. So there's a lady that's gone and done a video over here saying that some of the immigrants,
I think
they yeah,
I heard
I'm
about
gonna
that.
say it discreetly, but basically she's saying that there's some boxes that have been delivered, yeah, and
Mm.
they got water guns in them, apparently,
Oh
right?
yeah, I get what you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You heard
I
about
seen
that, right?
something like. Yeah. Yep. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, yeah. So so that's been that's been flowing. It's supposed to be some hotel that she's got the
Mm-hmm.
immigrants in. Another
Yeah.
funny thing as well, I've noticed about the immigrants that have come in. Not saying that that is the true thing, but one thing I've
Mhm.
noticed that they're all scattered around the coastlines.
Yeah. Yeah. I've
Do
heard
you
about
understand?
that too. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
So that's a strange one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because obviously, if there is something pops off, they will be coming in from the coast, innit? So,
Correct.
yeah, I don't know. But yeah, they do definitely get better treatment. They've always, even down to asylum seekers, you know, they've
Mm-hmm.
always had better treatment in the
Facts.
UK than everyone else.
Yeah.
People that have lived and born here, you know what I mean, and
Yeah.
worked here, like.
Correct.
So yeah,
Now you're
it's a
right
bit.
about that.
I'll be
You're
honest
right.
with you. For the men in the UK, it's a bit crazy. Still, yo, big up Ultra still. Big up. I was off earlier when you came on. Big up Ultra. But yeah, for the men in the UK, if you ain't making no money, it's hard for you, mate, to get
Mm-hmm.
housing.
Mm.
Because now they're asking for someone to a guarantor. You know, they want someone to sign for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Wow.
Credit. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That's good
deep, man.
information, bro. That's good information because
Yeah,
we don't know what's
yeah,
going on over there.
yeah.
You know what I
Anyone
mean?
thinking about coming? Anyone thinking about coming to England to live? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you're crazy as hell. England is not what you think it is. Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, you better know what's going on. But obviously, the best thing here is the healthcare, innit? Like,
Mm.
Right.
but that ain't really been too great since you know when. So
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Panero, I
Same
got a
thing with
question.
Canada. See, what happens is that some people, not to cut you up, brother Panero, but it's true though. They think the grass is greener on the other side, so they want to flood over
Yeah,
to the UK or they want to go to Canada. And I'm like, Canada, they clamping down hardcore down in Canada. I'm like, wow, it's not as
yeah. Canada, they're
pretty
not
as,
playing. Yeah,
yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
really not. They
Mm-hmm.
on some almost to the where we cutting off borders, and they did that when the pandemic happened, and they did that with the buck the oh yeah the bus, not bus drivers, the truck drivers.
I
Truck
remember that.
drivers.
I put
Yeah.
that video
Yeah,
out,
they weren't
Foxy.
letting
Yeah, I remember that.
nobody come up to
Yeah,
Canada. They were shutting all borders down.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And California too had passed a crazy policy or law. I don't know if it's in place, if they, what happened, but they were saying if
Salute to
you
Ghetto Child.
if you was a driver and you drive for a corporation, you're not, no, you either have to be driving for a corporation, but if you're driving for yourself, it
Right.
was not
You
letting you
couldn't
in.
do it. Yep.
Yeah, which is crazy. And they said, which I brought this up on your platform, and because they said whenever California passes a law or whatever, or policy, second state is New York to do it as well,
Yep.
to follow suit and stuff like that. So, it's crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And remember that the same people that are the same organization that's running that whole high holy land, right? We just talked about this. It's the Vatican. Look at the places that have the obelisk in their government area, and not even government, because we got an obelisk in Central Park, but the Vatican owns New York City, it owns London, it owns Washington D.C. They're their own sovereign areas.
Correct.
So it's like like New York operates on a different like London. London has its own. They all work under that jurisdiction, and they're almost like their own little nation. So that's why a lot of shit can get, a lot of like injustice can fly off the handle in New York City, and then it's like case in point with the stop and frisk back in the 90s. No one was doing that, but Giuliani came in with that whole stop and frisk, not the crime bill is what I was talking about, Brother Maybach, but the stop and frisk. Giuliani was the one to implement. They kept calling New York for a long time the cop state, the cop state, the cop state. Why? Because it operated on a whole nother jurisdiction.
Correct.
And they can get away, and because it's the Empire City for a reason. It's the capital of finances. It's and then Washington D.C. is the capital of the military, right? Now, and then UK also is the capital with the finances. So and New York and UK, Boston, we're their little cousins. We're still under the crown's jurisdiction. People not realizing that. When you sign off and you get off that birth certificate and all their registrations, then you can operate differently. But as long as you still got your birth certificate and your social security, I'm sorry, but you are still under the corporation and you are still a chattel here.
Correct.
Point blank, period.
Correct.
So miss me with you going under the radar. Did you take yourself off to become? And guess what? I want it all. I'm coming to the crown because I got my name. Goes back to Scotland. On my mother's side, the name goes back to Scotland and England. So give me all my reps due. and I'm going to Dutch, and I'm going to whoever else was looting and pillaging in Jamaica, Cuba. I'm going all there. So y'all playing small fries and talking about reparations for the United States. Now I'm going overseas. I'm getting the big bucks.
Now, see, when it comes to that, right? I don't even care about. See, when it comes to that, like I've said before, when it comes to reparations, this guy broke it down and said, if they gave each American just 1 acre, we all can fit into Texas. It has to do with, he was making a point with how BG be talking about, the world's overly, crowded and all other stuff. So this man was making a point and said, forget about giving us money, right? If they gave each American 1 acre, we all can fit in the state of Texas. That's letting you know, like, it's not, because there's still part, like Texas is huge. So this is what I'm saying. There's a bunch of huge states that we have.
This country alone is got areas where you can go get land at.
Correct.
But some people, especially some of our what we call Black folks, think about the reparations as money, and it's not.
It's never been money.
They don't understand the politics of it all. What you just said, Brother Maybach, is what it is. It's the land and the resources. That's what we want. But when I say we want to get all that, because who got all of our gold?
They did.
Like that?
Yeah,
overseas.
Right. Yep.
Right? Who got all our stuff hidden down in vaults? Vatican.
Correct.
So
All the
so
good
half of
books.
these people are fighting. It's crazy, and like I go into arenas where I'm speaking with what they call indigenous Americans and things of that nature. I really stay out of the whole, Black Power, FBA type, because that's,
Mhm.
I'm smarter than that. Like, I'm like, so I want to hear about indigenous folks because that's where I resonate at, because that's where my family is from. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
So reparations for us, me and my folks, is not really, we're not going to get that. But if we can, what they did do, we gonna go to the islands because that's where our family's from. So
Mhm.
yeah, while y'all battling out over here, but just know who your enemy is, and it's not you going to DC and you going to these government officials and talking about, oh, we want cut the check now. No, remember who was here first? The 13 colonies. Who were the 13 colonies? Your Portuguese, your Dutch, your British, etc. So you can't just go to one, you got to go to them all. Are you ready for that war? I don't think so. Half of these people are not educated. That's why I stay with the indigenous, because it's like they talking some real deal Holyfield stuff.
Mhm.
This whole Black Power, I love it. It's great. It makes you feel good. I was rocking with it when I was little, until I became knowledge of self and understood that no, my family, we bigger than this. Hell, I'm a freaking star seed. I'm not even of this world. You know what I mean? Like, I got stardust inside my body. Miss me with the little peon stuff. But I'll dumb it down and I'll come down to human level and we'll talk human stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to fight something, you're going to have to do your homework and do your research. You're going to have to get those law dictionaries. You're going to have to speak to some people. And I'm not talking about the government officials, because they are under their own jurisdiction. Remember, they work for the corporation.
Correct.
We, the
You gotta get someone
people
for that.
of
You gotta get-
America, that's the Constitution, right? Is that not how it starts off? We, the people of America.
Mhm.
Come on now, we got to get serious. Like, that whole Black Power thing, they keep laughing in your face. Oh, Black Lives Matter? Sure it does.
Mm.
Sure. They know that black doesn't exist, but you don't.
Mhm.
You don't. So you keep running up to Capitol Hill and talking about reparations due now, Black Power now, no votes. They don't care. They don't care. Because they're looking at you like you don't know, foolish. You're not getting anything. We'll keep giving you bones and biscuits. We'll cut you a stimulus check. We'll make, your food stamps more.
And that's the
You're
problem.
not going to get your grandmother's land back.
Correct. But that's the problem. We keep accepting the crumbs instead of standing for the whole plate. You understand what I'm saying? We, like you just said, that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? I remember when during 2020 there was something going on, and in your city they was like, oh, if you come down to the clinic, we'll offer you $100 to bring your child. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to say too much, but it was just like, and people, there was videos on people bringing their child just for $100, and this is the problem. It's
Bro,
like
free
us here, right?
donuts, free weed, Uber
Yeah.
ride.
Yes, exactly. Louisiana was disrespect. They was giving you the free ride and everything, and after you got what you got, they gave you free chicken. If that's not a disrespect, like, come on.
Man.
You get what I'm saying?
It's blatant.
Like, bro, this is another thing. I just found out,
Oh, God.
right? Not Chicago, not New York, not Boston, Louisiana, 95% jails their own citizens, bro. Yo, y'all need to look into the Louisiana like prison system. Just look at it, watch documents, watch these videos, and you're gonna be like, wow. But again, we're fighting each other. Yeah, we're fighting each other over damn crumbs. Don't like Foxy said, don't get me wrong. I was once young and dumb and full of, running around here talking about this is my block. I didn't own no house on that street. We didn't own nothing. And we was protecting it like we was the Crips back in the days or some Black Panther stuff, but we were just trying to police the community. Yeah, we was, a little street organization, but bro, it was just like, we don't own nothing on here. And we're getting into, problems with other blocks away, and we're going at each other, like trying to wipe each other out for this block and that block that we don't even own. But once you come out of that simple-minded thinking, you start looking at things differently and said, yo, this is a much bigger war that I really need to engage in. You understand what I'm saying? Once you get it out that ignorant mentality, but then you got a bunch of people, like, let me give you an example. There's 10 homies I can pick up the phone right now and say, yo, let's go in this neighborhood and let's do what we need to do. No questions asked. Everybody's suited and booted head to toe.
Ready
but
to
if
go.
if I say, let's go in this neighborhood over here and let's go do the same act, now it's like, hold on, Maybach.
That's a problem.
Hold on.
Yeah,
yo, hold on, Maybach. Yo, it's the truth. It's sad,
it
bro.
It is.
No, it's the truth. It's the truth, because my friends used to kiss my ass, but certain men used to be like, yo, P, I got your back, man. Like, rah, rah. I'm like, bro, I don't need you to have my back, man. I can do my own thing, bro. Yeah.
For real.
And like, what else can you do for me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this is another reason, why I don't talk about slavery and them things on my channel. I think I've done one video and I spoke about why I don't talk about it. I just feel that until the people then come together, I just don't want to hear about certain things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like we live in a big contradiction.
All that whining and shit.
We made all that noise over George Floyd, but man, slumping, man, every week. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Correct. Yeah, facts.
Man.
Nothing changed.
So what?
Nothing
So
changed.
what? But the thing is, what I want to understand, though, Maybach, is that nothing is gonna change. And what I mean by, not to be negative, bro,
No, I know what you mean.
You have to understand. Everyone's at different levels in their mind, bro. So as long as there's still low vibrational people, it's always gonna be there, bro.
That's a fact. No, you're right, bro. Like you said on your platform, remember? It was one of those lives. I can't remember if it was the first or second, where you was like, yo, no disrespect, but I don't want soldiers. I want generals next to me. I understood what you meant by that, Pinero. Remember that? Remember when we had that conversation on the platform? And I understood. You know what I'm saying? And it's the truth. And it goes back to, I want someone who's on the same frequency, who's thinking high vibrational as me.
Or has the mind to get to the same vibration as us.
Correct.
You understand what I'm saying?
Correct.
Reaching for them heights. That's right.
Yeah, because everyone starts from somewhere. Let's not get above ourselves. Everyone starts from somewhere.
Correct. That's not what you were saying, like you above anybody, but I knew what you meant. Go ahead.
Do you understand what I'm saying? I remember. Thanks for remembering that as well. And that's what we need. We need more people that think like us, and it's not because with us, we're not on the ego thing. We're not about who's bigger than who and all that. I mean, because that's where this whole problem started. You know what I'm saying? Because people want to be the boss of everything. You know what I mean?
There you go. Correct.
Yeah? I've been there before. I've done it too. I'm sure you've done it too. So it's a thing of like, yeah, man. You have to get some great minds around us, that are thinking the right way, or nothing's going to change out here when it comes to the community, the black community.
Correct.
There's always going to be murderers and all that, bro. Like, that's just
correct. There's always going to be chaos. From what we learned and what we know, it's always going to be chaos. It's about moving in between the chaos. You get what I'm saying? And getting things done. And until, like how you said, I feel what you said, because I've been saying that. I'm not ignorant. I'm not saying I don't have faith and I don't have hope. I just don't see us ever uniting and standing, because there's always going to be the people that is still caught up in the matrix. There's going to be people, and when I say that, meaning their mind, like they so been programmed that when you're saying stuff, they automatically, you look like basically they're your enemy, bro, because they going against what you. So Pinero, you believe this, you believe, and you're like, yo, bro, why would? It's not about believing, it's about knowing.
But that's how we know that this is true. What I'm saying, because we've all got, but we couldn't change all of our friends' minds, bro. No, that's how I know what I'm saying. Yeah, correct. I know a lot of people. There's still a big percentage of people that don't want to do this, bro. They don't want nothing to do with it.
Nothing.
And that's how I know.
Correct.
And they believe it, and things will happen to them, and I'm telling them, listen, like it's happening because of this, and this is why this, that. But they just don't want to hear it. They think it's some magical. They can't get over their head that this is like the movies. It's like they can't. It's like
it really
they can't believe that it's real, bro.
Correct. They don't want to know.
And that's kind of crazy to me. The way I
Correct,
see it,
correct.
bro, if no one woke up during them couple years we went through that thing, I don't know what else to tell you. I'll be
Thank
honest with
you.
you.
Thank you. Yes, a few
Like,
years ago. If that didn't open your eyes,
yeah, I don't know
correct.
what else to
If
tell you, because that was a
He
movie.
might,
That
he
was
probably
that
never
was.
see it.
But we was
Not
that
this
was that was a
lifetime.
movie. That was a movie.
correct.
That was Dustin Hoffman outbreak.
Man, man.
Understand? We was living it. So
Correct,
yeah,
correct. You
that's
you
what.
said it, bro. I couldn't say it no better. That's a fact. Like if you don't see 3 years ago what these people did, it's 3 years ago. Yeah, 3 years ago. If you can't see that, like, there's a YouTuber. His shit's called The Truth, and he said, "I'm not here to make you see what is it. Let me say it right. I think he said, "I'm not here to make you find the truth. I'm just here to make you see it." That I did my job. I put it in front of you. Now, if you don't want to know that this is happening, then that's just all on you.
It's on
You get what I'm
you.
saying? So yeah, exactly. He's saying I'm not forcing my belief. I'm not trying to, it's just like how like because Panero kind of said it. I'm a paraphrase where I've said this on his platform, on Foxy's, and other platforms where it's like I even have family that looks at me and says, "Oh, there you go again with the conspiracy." You get what I'm saying? It's like, yo,
So
not
that's
every
all I hear.
yeah, not everything is conspiracy. Come on. Like,
It's
yo, 2
true.
and 2 is equaling 4 right here. And they just don't. And it's just like, okay, you know what? It's like how the religious people walk around, house to house and all this other stuff. I'm not forcing what I know on you. I'm just telling you, pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like, open your eyes, stop being bamboozled, stop paying attention to the entertainment stuff, because that's the distraction. Just like sports. I'm not going to say too much about sports, but I'm going to always say this because this was facts. Sunday is football, right? If the Patriots lost on a Sunday, let's just say Panero and Ultra just want to have a basic general conversation. They couldn't even have a conversation because I let the sports, my team lost on Sunday. So now it's messing up even my outside life. You understand, with my friends and my family, like the thing would really mess up my life, bro. So once I understood, like, yo, this is part of a distraction. It's this and that. It's cool to look at it from time to time, but don't have your heart in it. Don't have your emotions and feelings. Once I did that, it was the best thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I can say. I can go in deep, but like I said, this ain't my platform, whatever. So, educational purpose. I just look at sports differently now. My emotions is not attached to it, my feelings, my heart, and that's what they be wanting. That's why they project certain things. A doctor just talked about it. A doctor said, if you're listening to the news and all you hear is nothing but negative things, that becomes you. That's why they said, let's be mindful of what we listen to. Let's be mindful of what we're watching, because that subconsciously comes inside of you and you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's why that movie last night, once I learned that, because there's an agent that talked about that says Hollywood will confirm with them on what movies to put out. You understand what I'm saying? And they'll put out this type of movie for a certain reason. And a lot of the movies, even down to commercials, is played off of, like, the best way I can explain it is like lightning. Excuse me. Let me take that back. Like, restaurants will use certain colors. So if we see red, automatically a red sign for a restaurant advertising food will automatically make you subconsciously hungry. But you just ate. You understand what I'm saying? Because you're seeing this sign and it's projecting a color, it subconsciously get inside of you. Now it's controlling you. So that's why we have to be mindful of the stuff that we listen to and why. That's why I don't, no disrespect to drill music. I don't listen to it. It's a low vibrational frequency. You know what I'm saying? They perpetuate something. Meek Mill's just had a conversation about it, how he said he was offered a certain amount of money to keep rapping a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And what does happen when we rap a certain way? What's his name? Special Ed kind of said something about NWA on the frequency of music they was putting out. And they got mad for what he said. But I understood the point he was making. But some of the members, they got mad.
Went at him for saying.
Correct.
So
but
wait, go ahead.
Went at him with telling the
No,
truth.
I'm finished. Yeah, I'm finished. Go ahead, Foxy.
So again, going back to the alphabet boy, and when we hear about about certain things, because what they made it look like was special ed from the East Coast, and he's talking sideways. What happened, Brother Panero? Don't incriminate us over here, Brother Panero.
Nah, he
hey, Fox, thanks for letting me know, man. Oh, shit.
So, NWA, they get on a Instagram chat and have special ed now
join in
correct
on that.
himself of what he was saying on Drink Champs.
Correct.
The Alphabet Boys did the same thing with what we call the East Coast, West Coast when Tupac and Biggie were alive.
They played on that.
They incited that, because what they did was they saw that Pac was having issues, or he felt a certain kind of way with Biggie. And he kept airing out his dirty laundry on his records.
Enemies. His enemies. Yeah.
So the FBI boys caught wind of that and said, now we know how to get him.
Correct.
We're gonna flare this. We're gonna flare this out even more, and now we're making it West Coast, East Coast, when it really was just one against not even one against the other, but one had an indifference with the other. It had to do with two people, and that's it.
Correct. It was just some individuals that had misunderstandings. That's
right.
really what.
But the Alphabet people do that. They will have it's written down. This is what is in the COINTEL book.
Correct. You said it earlier.
That's what they do. They incite people.
Correct.
Beats. They will send you drugs and money.
Correct.
Whatever your vice is, they will send it to you. If you go into gambling, they're going to hook you up with the best bookie. This is what they do. And they've been playing on the so-called Blacks and Hispanics for decades. So again, we don't want to take away from what's going on across the world, but we have our own situations here. And as Brother Panero brought out the whole George Floyd, you know, some people can go into the conspiracy bag with that. I will, but I'm not going to go into it today. That's the poster child, but at the same time, right? Nothing. It was incited, right? They gave it an alphabet or an acronym, right? Black Lives Matter. So they gave it a 3-letter acronym because that's what the alphabet people do.
Correct.
It was working under some people that work with the alphabet people. Right? And now you got people in their tears and, oh my God, this is too much and this is sad. And you have people across the world, right? Across the world protesting for this man.
Correct.
The ball was dropped, and now we back to the regular scheduled program. Now we crying a river and we putting hashtags Palestine. And you know, there's protest in Brooklyn. There was protest in Lower Manhattan.
Y'all did it too? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, of course, we got a big Hasidic Jewish population over here.
Yeah. We do too. I'm gonna send you the video on IG. I'm gonna send you how it looked out here on IG, Fox.
I mean, I was just like,
I was mad. You know how I looked at it? I looked at it like, okay, so what goes on in the world, everyone wants to take a stand for that. But we got stuff being done to us here, and nobody.
Well, I wouldn't say no one, but the world is not batting an eye for us.
That's how I meant to say it. Correct. What we got going on here
for us, but they sure was protesting with that George Floyd. I mean, they was spray painting out there in other countries. I'm like, what is going on here?
You know what somebody enlightened me on with the George Floyd thing? They said, Mel, every year, not every year, every certain amount of time, they got to come back with something similar. And I was like, what are you talking about? And the person was like, you don't remember Rodney King in the 90s? I said, oh, man.
Right.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? Every, 20, 30 years, they're going to do something like that. You know what I mean? And I was like, wow. I said, bro, I didn't even look at it like that. You're right. Remember, they always said nothing new is done under the sun, right?
Right. Right. So I'm going to read really quickly. Oh, go ahead, Brother Hollow.
That'd be them rituals they be repeating.
Bingo.
Correct.
Because we're in the Jason months. You know this. You
Plus,
know
they got to
this.
keep us. They got to keep us in line too with the. I don't want to say what the program is called, but yeah.
Yeah, of course. And that's rolling around next month.
Yep.
Right. Allegedly.
Mm.
So this is a good brother of mine that I went to his workshops. I've been rocking out with him since like 2018. And I learned a lot from him as far as knowing that you're a chattel, knowing that your birth certificate, your social security is all lined up with them. And I was like, wow, like, and he's younger. He's a little brother. I'm 47, so he's a little brother to me because he's like 30. He's in his early 30s, and I'm learning a lot from some young, smart individuals out here. I will not be, oh, I can't learn anything because I'm older. No, I want to learn because y'all got your ear to the ground more than I do.
Correct.
So I want to know what you know. School me. So I'm gonna read this really quick to everybody. And he's mentioning about what's going on over there overseas. So on his IG, his name is Brother Truth on his IG. And he says, I've always found it odd that the media focuses on the nations at war rather than the Holy See who oversees all of them. He says, how is it the Pope, the official observer and overseer of the entire United Nations, and they're just praying for peace when they're empowered to create proposals and policies that can actually bring the peace? This goes all the way back to 1312 and the Unam Sanctum Papal Bull Papers, when the Holy See declared to make every living creature a subject of the Roman pontiff. Every living creature. Side note, he says, if the Holy See is the overseer of all countries within the United Nations, doesn't that currently make the citizens of every UN country the Roman subjects? He says, hello, people. The Roman Empire planned its full motion. People can cry, pray
Right now.
Right. Yeah. He says people can cry, pray. People can pray for peace and all that they want. But what's going on in Israel and Maui is directly linked to banking, families, Britain, and the Roman Holy See. Yeah. Both of these land masses are huge energy portals. And this year they're making it they're making I think he was trying to say making moves, but they're moving into take both of them. Chess, not checkers. Hashtag. All right. So that's just a little bit. And he said this today, and I created this live Friday. So you see how spirit and the spiritual alignment, when you start cooking up something, the universe conspires with you. This brother has been dropping all this from the whole weekend. I have not seen any of his stuff till today. And I'm like, bingo.
But this corporation in the UK, like the guy said, and everybody should know this, is running, and the teachings, however you want to put it, however you want to phrase it, is all from the Roman Empire days.
Right, that's what he said, and it goes back to 1312.
Correct.
So you got to go back to when these people started doing treaties with your Moors and the Moroccans and all those going back. I'm learning from we might as well call him Dr. Sabir Bey. But Sabir Bey, listening to that, because he really tells you are all that. Stop saying you just this and stop saying you just that. You're all of it. You were more Islam, Moroccan at the same time.
Correct.
You want to pull yourself apart because that's what they did, but you are all of that in one. You're you're Islam, you're Moroccan, you're Hebrew. Correct. So stop it.
Because
you're Aboriginal, you're indigenous.
Correct.
I mean, the truth is, there really ain't no one label that could ever encompass everything that we are.
Correct.
So I don't even know why people play that game and letting somebody else
dictate.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's why they said power in the people. If we really know who we really are, it'd be a wrap for the governments. That's what they always said. And to me, it's just like, okay, I found out. It took me not long to find out who I am, where my peoples truly come from. Why don't everybody, you don't need ancestry to do that for you. You know, back
Right.
before
Really
these,
don't.
what was our ancestry before? When we had our grandparents alive, they tell you the whole line. You know what I mean? They
Right.
told you your lineage of the family on both
I did.
sides. Oh yeah, your
My
grandfather.
grandmother,
Yeah,
my
exactly.
grandmother could open up one of these OG photo albums and tell
You,
you everybody in
you know,
it.
facts. You know, and you saw the Polaroid pictures. Yeah, this was our dad.
Everybody.
You know what I mean? Facts. You know, for real. Your mother, you see this house right here? Your mother was raised in this house. Like,
Man,
yeah, things like that. It's fact. So, you know, it's crazy.
But they got the powers that shouldn't be telling you who you are.
Mm.
And
Oh,
so
I got a question.
now you're running around with the narrative that you're this when you're really that. And you should
well,
have been listening to your
Yeah,
grandmother and your great grandmother and your
facts.
grandpappy years
Facts.
ago.
that's the problem. Like, how you not gonna take their word over it? How you gonna let somebody who showed you for hundreds of years how they feel about you go? How you gonna let them tell you something? Anything,
Thank you. That's what gets me. That's what
anything.
gets me, Ultra, is that it's like, let me use Foxy as an example, right? I know Foxy don't like me. She don't care about me, right? She's not good for me. She want me to not prosper and all that, but yet I still want to be her friend. You know what I'm saying? I still want to be her friend. Or I want to
Damn, are
be
you telling
accepted.
the life story right now?
You know what I'm saying? Or I want to, or you know what I'm saying? Or I'm trying to gain her respect or whatever. I want her to acknowledge me, but she
Right,
don't care. You get what I'm saying? She's
right,
respecting you. She's respecting Panero, but she keeps showing me her back. You know what I'm saying? Turning her back
right,
on me, and I
right.
still keep tapping her
It
shoulder
sounds
and like,
personal,
oh.
Maybach. You want to talk behind the scenes? It sounds personal. Like, should we talk? Is this something I'm missing?
But you
Like
do,
Ice
you
Cube
do
said, what
take
was it in the
shots
boys
at
in
me.
here? And the boys in here was like,
Yeah.
oh, we got a problem? We got a problem?
Listen, I just have to take a shot at you because sometimes you do take a quick shot at me. Oh, my brother Bayback, no disrespect to the Libras, but I gotta say the truth. You know, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Because you know, the Libras, my heart was broken.
Yo, she be getting on me, Ultra. She always makes sure, you know, it's like somebody, right? It's like, Ultra, somebody's talking to you and they're like, listen, don't get upset about what I'm about to say.
Here we go. Here we go. Brace
You know what
yourself.
I'm saying? For real. And they
And
hit you with them
it's really
uppercuts.
just the Libras and the Pisces. I don't got no beef
Listen,
with nobody else. I'm
I know
Gucci.
you don't. Listen, I never take it personal because somebody on IG had
It's
to
coming
do
from my heart.
two people. Like I know a chick from IG. She had to do 2 lives exposing that. She's like, listen, when I make a post about your people's signs, I'm not personally talking about you. So
Oh
stop
my
DMing.
God.
Yeah, yo. So when Foxy does it, I've been told this from day one. But see, this is me. I can't speak for nobody else. So if she makes a post about a sign, I never hit her up and be like, "So are you talking about me?" That's what these people do.
That's
So
crazy.
they just don't know how to separate what the
That's
person posts
crazy.
about a sign in general. You know what I'm saying? She don't tag nobody's name and be like, Maybach, I'm talking
I
about
guess we
you.
can talk to you.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I always laugh. It's fun. When she does it, I'll always be like, oh, so you talking about me? Like one day she was talking in the chat. She knew I was gonna say something. She's like, Maybach, let me disclaimer. I am not talking about you, but that's a joke between us. You know what I'm saying? So I know it's not a
Right.
person. Yeah, but other people, they take it so what do you mean about Scorpios? I'm not that way. And it's like, yo, homie, I'm not
Oh
talking about you.
damn.
Yeah, it's like, yo, Scorpios are this, Scorpios are that. It can pertain to the women Scorpio, but not the man. But the man's replying back like, that's not me. And it's like, yo, homie, that's just a post. No
My
one tagged
God.
you. You know, so it's just with the information. It's the same way. That's why I be telling people, I'm telling you what I know, what I'm researching and what I'm getting a non-biased opinion or factual things on something. So I'm
Right.
using the same type of tactic. But people will be like, oh, I don't believe in that. And I'm like, yo, I'm not saying
Okay.
this for you to believe,
You don't
homie.
have to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you don't have to
You
believe
do
anything.
not have
I'm saying.
to. It's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly. Yeah. So, it is what it is, man. That's why just now I come into a room, I see somebody that is vibrating like me, I'm gonna share that information. That was my problem before. I would be talking to the people that is, I don't want to say they're an agent, but to me, it's just like everything that you're telling them, they have something to go against it, and it's always something negative.
Mm,
So you tell me you think that this is going on, and it's like, no, it's not what I think, it's what I know. I follow the money, I did my research, and this is what I'm coming up with. This is,
right.
you know what I'm saying? But hey, it is what it is. I'm not here to save everybody. That's not my mission. That's not my plan. My mission and my goal is to be around like-minded people. That's why I said on Panero's platform, on this platform, my street and 3 other streets, we all prepared for certain things. You get what I'm saying? But that's not saying
Mm-hmm.
that, oh, yeah, I'm just saying my street, we prepare for anything to happen to where we can be assets to one another. I wish other communities can do like that, or all of us can do the same thing, because when stuff hits the fan, it doesn't discriminate. Oh, let me affect the black people and not
Right.
leave.
It's
Yeah,
gonna be for everybody.
yeah, we all gonna need. That's why I know who my neighbors are. I've been on my street since 1990. So I know my neighbors. My neighbors know me. They can come borrow whatever they want, and I can do vice versa. But we make sure we're assets to one another. Because when stuff hits the fan, like I said, we all gonna have to band together. That's all colors. You want to throw the rainbow color out? Let's throw the rainbow. Black, white, yellow, green, orange, whatever.
Like whatever.
Alien too. Aliens as well too. And I'm not talking about, people, somebody from a foreign world. I mean, whatever, alien. You know what I'm saying? Because they live in amongst us, hybrids, whatever you want to call them. They all amongst us. No, it's a fact. They all amongst us, brother. You know what I'm saying? So,
No
you know,
facts.
I know
yeah,
it.
you know, yeah.
Brother,
Shit, I
brother
wish.
Panero, you all right over there?
Yeah, I'm good. Can you hear me good?
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm blessed. I'm good. Just dealing with some
Okay.
business, but I'm here.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
it's good that you're tapping in. You know, we're on a different time zone, like way out.
But what time is it over there, Fox?
It's 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, is it?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But over
What
here
time y'all?
it's 8 p.m. over here. Ain't too bad.
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. So you good. You good.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Just know.
Damn, 8 o'clock, huh? At night?
Yeah.
So y'all are ahead of us then.
Yeah, they what he said? He said 8
He
and
said
it's
8,
3.
so
Yeah.
he
Ahead
Yeah.
of you, but behind you at the same time. We get everything late.
right.
Yeah, that makes sense. I like that. Behind you, but yeah. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, so what platforms you've been flying around on lately, Fox?
Let's see. Well, I've been binging off some jail stories.
No, I'm talking about the live stream. You been jumping in anyone's live stream? I want to
Oh,
start.
lives is
I want to start adding a few myself. See what's going
Big
on.
Philly OG.
Mhm.
Um, that's really it. I just been over there. And Sabir Bay radio show.
Mm.
Okay.
That's
Well, on
it.
the
Just
YouTube,
really
yeah.
it. I'm in the chat mostly. Like on other platforms, I'm just like in the chat, but jumping onto the panel. Those were like the only two. I also did. I think Hollow, were you there to see me when I was on Black Magic with Brother Rich?
Yeah, I think I got on towards the end of that.
Okay. So, because he was on when he was on with Sirius what's
Dr.
his name?
Serious. Dr.
Yeah,
Big Serious.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then I went on to when Red was on with Rahu, Brother
Right.
Right, cool.
I've seen that one.
Yeah, I was on that night. So that's in the past week. So just I was up
Foxy,
on those.
what kind of platforms that those are?
They're like this, talking some real deal Holyfield stuff.
Oh, that's not the what was you saying? The Aboriginal? That's not them?
No.
Okay, all right.
That one is Turtle Gang and Brother Truth, but I don't think he has a YouTube.
Turtle Gang from Philly OG's thing. He be on there too?
No, not that Turtle Gang. Mm-mm.
Okay, all right. Yeah,
Turtle
Panero, I
Gang.
think you'll like Philly OG because he promotes. That's his main thing, is promoting other people's channels and making everybody sub up to everybody. So he does a lot of
or music as well. Like if you
Music
have some
too.
music you want him to
Correct.
listen to, he'll put your music up when he's doing his the live stream, and he'll have like at least about a good 5 minutes sometimes of just playing everybody's music
Correct.
that you
What
want him to
random music or conscious?
random, mostly rap.
Random.
Yeah,
Like
it'd be like
hip hop.
conscious type of rap. Yeah, like raps with
Okay.
messages, not nothing.
Yeah,
Shoot 'em
yeah.
up, bang bang. Yeah,
Yeah.
not none of that.
That's a
Yeah,
good
it's
look
real.
still.
Yeah, real
Mhm.
conscious rap, and I love that because, you know, we always talk about the golden eras of music. We had a balance. Now there is no balance at all in
No, there's
music.
nothing.
So yeah, so the rappers he promote, they conscious rappers. They's got a
Well,
message in
see,
their rapping.
for me, like that's a big thing for me. Like I'm a
Mhm.
super hip hop head, and people keep saying this hip hop is dead stuff, but I totally disagree. Like to me,
Mhm.
I'm strictly underground for the most part. I don't be rocking with none of this mainstream stuff. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Makes me
underground
weak
is
'cause I love
thriving
it
like the
mainstream.
'90s right now.
correct.
Like
Yep, it
I'm
now.
I'm it's the cats that you ain't never heard their name before with some of the best music out, and it goes virtually unnoticed. It is really sad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
crazy. You
You
know
There's
what's
know who
some
crazy?
you know
there's
who
some
got
great
me?
artists out there.
Yeah, you know who was an underground artist that I didn't okay, so MF Doom. I had got put onto MF Doom like back in 2018.
Oh my
And
God,
Mhm.
wait, but check it.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
didn't
that's
know
my
that he was
dude right
part
there. Like
of
Doom, that's
KMD,
my
right?
dude.
He came out as somebody else under the conscious rapping, and he went underground because when his brother died, he just
Right.
took it hard. And I didn't know, and then I never heard of MF Doom. So when
Mhm.
I'm listening, so like my
Like
homeboy
nah,
put
he came out back in the day
he
with
did
third base and them, like KMD.
right. That's what I was saying. He was part of that group, so I knew who he was as that group, but I didn't know him
Right.
as MF Doom.
Okay.
So I had a homeboy put me on to him. And I was
I
like,
love
yo, he sounds
Doom.
like
That was
Ghost.
my
I was like,
dude.
yo, Doom is crazy.
That was my dude.
I
Like
found out about him. Go
nobody
ahead.
rap like him at all.
I found out about him like kind of like Foxy. Well, before I never heard no music from him. I heard his name when he, when he wasn't here no more. And I'm like,
Mm,
wow, I never heard of this dude. Whether it was
Really?
underground or not, I just never heard of him. So they
Yeah.
mentioned him,
Mm.
and the thing that I watched on him was kind of like they don't, they questioning about his, like how he's not here anymore. So that's how
mhm.
I learned about him, watching a
Like
video
dude,
on
the dude who wore a mask dies on Halloween. Nah,
yeah,
that
correct. So you
alone.
know
That's
exactly what
all
I'm
I
talking
need to
about.
know. Like
So
that
Foxy,
sounds super
I'm
super.
glad that Ultra brought that up because I meant to ask you. I know you said we're in the Scorpio season or whatever, but isn't this
Sketchy.
the harvest month though? You know what I mean
The
by that,
harvest,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
harvest.
yeah. With the whole,
It is, and
yeah.
but it's also still part of the Jason months, which I always go by first and foremost because they do their rituals during that time. So
This
if you want
month,
to call it
correct.
the season of the witch, not only just this month, they've been so the Jason seasons are acronyms for June, July, August, September, October, November.
Okay, got
They
you.
do
Okay.
rituals during that time. Again, when we talked about uh like an hour ago in regards to me tapping into my not a reading, but my last spiritual and cosmic alignment,
Hmm.
that's the beginning of those Jason. It was in April, right? And there was also a solar eclipse that happened during that high holy month. So it's
Okay.
not just October, April. That's the high holiest month for them,
Hmm.
for people who
Hmm.
are religious.
Hmm.
And then they do and then that Jason act ritual starts to kick in, and then they got the high holy season. So yeah, they do it
Hmm.
all throughout the year. Not all throughout the year. They die down in November. They take a
Yeah.
break.
No, but I was told that or I seen something like where they say October is where there's a lot that's done because of, it's October and what's coming up on the 31st and how we're not even supposed to, engage
Yeah,
into all
I
of that.
never heard of that. I mean that would make sense though, because that's
Well, they
prime.
say that supposedly the veil between
Well,
the
that too.
different worlds is the thinnest
Okay.
around
Okay.
Halloween.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
I mean, for me, the thinnest veil is always. It don't
Yo, I'm
sleep for
happy
me.
too.
Don't go away. there.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
happy you went live too today. So once I saw the notification, I was like, she's back.
I
Yo,
know, who was
for
it? It
real.
was oh my gosh, somebody was in the chat was like, when are you going live again? Oh, I think it was old head. He is like, when are you going live, man? No live today. I'm like, nah, chill. Like my daughter's home from school today.
Listen, man,
But
like you said, this is therapy, man. It's therapy, like you said. For me, I've
yeah,
said it. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially last year, when I was I lost a few people or whatever. And I was just like, yo, man, this girl going live and me being on her live and just, it really is therapeutic, man. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, I mean that, because like I said, y'all are like an extension, you know what I'm saying, of
exactly.
family, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. So, and I always say how we met and all this other stuff. Like, I didn't know you from Adam, you didn't know me, but I was like, okay, I
We
gotta
talking
check
about
you.
spooky stuff on MREX
Yeah,
channels.
exactly. And right then and there, it was just like, oh, she got a
Shout out
channel?
MREC.
Yeah. And I'm
Okay,
like, yeah, salute MREC, man.
that's
Let
how
me
me and Maybach met.
yeah,
I went on
that.
MREC. I called on MREC,
Mm,
give him a
Yeah.
spooky
I have
story.
seen your name in MREC chat before. I'm
What?
tripping.
Hold on, Ultra. What do you mean you never see? Yo, listen,
No, I
you
have. I
called
have.
in.
Now, that's what I was saying. I have seen your name in the MREC chat before. I
Oh,
totally
okay.
skipped over me.
Yeah. So
Now it's
she
making
called
sense
in.
now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she called in. She called in, and then I came after her, or vice versa,
No,
whatever.
I went
And
first, and then you went after me.
yeah, and then we was going back and forth in the chat, and I was like, "Yo, I like your story, whatever." And somehow, I don't want to say somehow, some way, but that's just the way I could say it as far as right now. But
We're not
right
going to
now,
incriminate ourselves on public forums here.
nah. I'm just
You know,
saying,
we're going a little left in the comment section.
now I can see why. No, meaning like, before you would be like, oh, I stumbled upon your YouTube channel, but when mentally there and vibrations, there's no stumbling, there's no accident. It's for a reason that you were shown the person's live. You get what I'm saying? Compared to any,
Mhm.
there's billions of people on this platform. You know what I'm saying? For real. So
Yeah, it was a
yeah.
lot. It was a lot. And we was giving our spooky stories, and I think it was talking about my grandmother, because like between her and then my father passed away, and it was like just a weird, like my awakening has been, I would have to say I've always been tapped in since I was a little kid, like to spirits and stuff like that. And then in my teenage years, and then I realized what was happening, and I had to like put a guard up, because I was like, I don't know how to, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want just
How to
anything
handle it, right?
into my, auric field there. So I had to shut it down until like my late 20s going into my early 30s. It came back around, and then it started peaking at certain times. And then 2012 is when it really was like, all right. And then stuff started happening again, and it was subtle. It like there were certain things that were happening subtly, but really 2017 was when they came knocking at the door. Actually, they bum rushed the door, came through, and was like, "You're going on." 2019, I became Foxy Moon, because it was like enough of the hiding. We gave you enough time. You one of ours. Get your shit together. And so, when you have a gift, or you're gifted, or you're intuitive, or you're spiritual, or whatever you want to call it or coin it, and when I say they, I mean the spirit world, they don't play games. Like, so you have to be careful. And, somebody asked me, well, do I do spells and stuff like that? No, I only do rituals for my family, for protection, for self and my kids. I don't go out there and do no hexes on anybody. I don't, because
Yeah,
karma's going
nah,
to get you. I don't need to do nothing, because karma's going to take care of that for me.
man.
Right? I don't need to do any love spells, because I get it like that anyway. I don't need to have, if you don't want to be a part of this, please go about your business. I don't have to put a love spell on you to keep you here. And as a matter of fact, it's going to backfire, because you're going to be all up underneath me, and I'm going to get sick and tired of you. So please. So I don't do those things. I just do to take care of my family, protect my family. I have my altar where I have my deceased loved ones, and that's the extent of it. Like I don't go all crazy. I'm not going in the forest. Well, yeah, I do go in the forest sometimes, but I mean, I'm not doing it for nobody else. I'm paying homage to my deities. I'm paying homage to my spirit guides, my angel guides, ascended masters, to God, source, and all that. That's it. I don't do nothing else crazy. I got the tarot cards that might look a little sideways to some people, but to me, it's something that they wanted me to do. They chose me. I didn't choose it. It was on some real Spider-Man shit. You saw Spider-Man got bit by that bug. He was minding his business. The shit bit him. And now you out here swinging through the streets. You know what I'm saying? Saving people. One person at a time. You know, and heavy is the crown, because not everybody can really, like when Red was talking about, because he's a Scorpion, and my North Node is in Scorpion, so in Scorpio, so I know how to walk the fine line of the dark and the light side. And Red has said that one time on his platform, that he was like, you know, Scorpios know how to walk through that underworld and walk in the light. Like it's a fine line. And he was like, heavy is the heart that wears that, because it's not for the faint of heart. Some people can't handle the darkness. Some people can't handle the light. It could be too much, either extreme. But if you know how to walk through this like Yeshua, and you walking on water, metaphysically speaking, then you know you good. But you need outside people to help you, because you are a part of a internet connected universal, you know, spirit, that you need to be tapped in with other people that can help you too, because you can't do that all by yourself, even though you make that. That's why Spider-Man joined the freaking Justice League and shit like that, and Marvel, like he teamed up with people. He couldn't do it by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have your spiritual team and people with you that can take on, because we in a spiritual warfare. Let's get that clear. We're still in a spiritual warfare against principalities, and for your mind, body, and soul. And what they just did to us 3 years ago, that was end game for some people. Physically speaking, spiritually speaking, metaphorically speaking, it's end game. So now you have people who are a shell of themselves. They, you know, some people got taken up after getting certain things put into their body when that happened, right? And it's crazy, and I'm kind of, you know, I'm going a little long-winded, but it circles back to this whole spiritual thing that happened with my dad, because the solar eclipse happened almost a week before he transitioned. And me and my dad kept trying to like be Scooby-Doo and try to like, you know, run away from death. And we were like, no, you know, I need you to come. He's like, I need you to come over here and cleanse the house for me. And, you know, some things are going on. And I'm like, Dad, you know, like I knew what it was, and he knew what it was, because he's a Pisces. So he's very intuitive that way. But he's like, I need you to come over here and clean the house up for me. And I'm like, I don't, you know, I'll do it, but something's more powerful than I am. And I can't really, you know, but I did what I was asked to do, and I try to, you know, protect my dad. But, you know, when God calls and the angel of death is there, it's nothing you could really do about it, you know. And it was just like, well, a matter of time. Like it was unexpected, but we kind of like, you know, kept saying things like, well, he's like, I don't want to die. Like he was facing his mortality. And I'm like, no, Dad, you're good. You're 67. You'll be here till like you're 87, 97, you know. And, you know, it was just weird. But in that whole time frame, we had a solar eclipse, and then he went on a Scorpio full moon. And he got caught up in that rapture. So it was bugged out. It was wild. It was crazy. And so what I'm saying is that they want their stronger soldiers on the other side to help you out on this side, because they know what's going on the other side. So they need those soldiers over there.
And it's crazy you say that too, because there's been a lot of OGs leaving. A lot of OGs leaving. And I remember Bobby saying, and it made me think of something that Bobby said about how they was leaving the help from the other side.
Mm.
So I was like, okay, so it really ain't nothing to worry about. Like whatever happens, they can't stop this. This change is here, it's happening, it's coming, and they can't do nothing about it. Somebody said earlier something about whether this was happening naturally or organically.
Hmm. I asked that. Yeah.
It's funny. I remember noticing in my probably in my mid teens, mid to late teens, how like I didn't know a whole bunch about the Bible back then, but
Mhm.
I could see these so-called elite Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. I could see them doing things to make certain prophecies come true. So
That's where I was going with it. Yep. That's
it,
where I
it
was going.
made me it made me wonder, like, why why would you do things that you know lead to your own demise?
Exactly. Or why you trying to play the most high? Why you trying to you
It,
get what I'm saying?
that too.
That's why I had asked that Panero the question. Yeah, I was the one who asked that. That's what I wanted to get a feel. You didn't really elaborate, but you're elaborating on it now. So that's how I see some of this stuff. They perpetuate, they trying to whatever you
That's
want
all
to
they be doing is trying to play God.
correct, or they reenacting what's supposed to be in the book that supposedly had happened, and they trying
Mhm.
to, with certain machines that they have, they trying to do stuff. Because like I said, I don't want to say, I want to say stuff without saying too much. So I'm gonna
Right.
just say this. I saw a bunch of videos that was like aligned with like floods, like a lot of water. I'm talking about cities that don't have this is getting a
Mhm.
lot of flood. Yeah, so all of this stuff
Right.
going on, and it's supposed to be in the book of, places drying up. This is supposed to be drying up, but while this is drying up over here, this is supposed to be
It's
going
getting
on over
flooded.
here.
Right.
So all of that stuff, that's why I asked y'all that question, like, how do y'all feel about that? Because to me, like kind of what Panero said, I'm 50-50 with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Some stuff I feel like, oh yeah, this can naturally happen. But then there's stuff that I look at and I'm like, nah. You know what I'm saying? And they already talk about with the what's the Asian guy that they got that be talking for them, like how they got the guy that talked for NASA, the Asian scientists that be going on those big
Oh,
platforms.
you talking
Yeah,
about I know his
Aiko
name.
or something. Yeah, Aiko or
Michio
something.
Kaku.
There you go. Where he
Michio
be saying,
Kaku. I know you
listen,
talking about.
there was an infamous morning show that I just saw the video, so it's still on YouTube, where he's talking about it blatantly. And the host says, we have to say allegedly. And he's like, oh, yeah, allegedly we can
Right.
do this. And I'm like, bro, you already got caught. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? So things like that makes me always question, because like they've been pushing this. I remember when a candidate was running in the early 90s against Bush, and he ended up losing because Bush used oh yeah, we're going to be hard on criminals, we're going to be hard on this and that, which some people like to hear. Oh yeah, I want that. I
Mm-hmm.
want the criminals who's doing that to be put away. But what this other candidate was
Davis.
bringing up, he's the first person to mention the CC stuff. I don't want to say it on the platform, but y'all should
Mhm.
know where it has to, where they can control stuff. And I was like,
Mhm.
what's he talking about this? What is this organization about? So I started to look into it, and it led me down the path where they can do certain stuff. And they already admitted to controlling it in a war that they had a long time ago. You get what I'm saying? So now that's why when I
Mhm.
look at things happening, I'm like, man, that's not nature just running its course. That's them
Right.
controlling. You know what I mean? So that's why I see it, and that's why I be telling a lot of people, pay attention, because I know, like I said, I'm only 40 years young. I seen the difference between the 80s to the 90s.
Maydex, I thought you was 47.
No, I just turned 47. I just
Oh,
turned
okay.
40.
You like I'm 40. I'm like, you out here lying.
No, I said I just turned. I said I turned 47 is what I'm saying. Yo, stop trying to expose me. Stop TNZing me. That's what we call that. Don't TMZ me.
Yeah, I always try to throw it on. You know, that's how we do. We got to throw each other
Nah,
under the bus.
I know it's always in fun, sis. It ain't nothing. I don't take it personal. You know, it's no personal attack, you know, or whatever. But yeah, so I pay attention. You know, like I said, I always walk with my eyes up in the sky. I always paid attention to the sky. Like I said, bringing it back to that. So I paid attention to stuff changing. I don't know how people older than me didn't pay attention. If you like my mom's, I'm gonna use her as an example. She's 84.
Oh my God.
So she saw, this is what I'm saying. She saw how the 40s was. She seen
Right.
how the 50s was, the 60s
All
were.
the changes that we have been through.
Correct. Whether she's from this land or not, there still was a change. You know what I'm saying? And she's been in over here on this side for a good amount of time now. So she, you know, we can talk about the 10 cents for transit, riding on a bus and only paying 10 cents.
Wow.
She went through that. You get what I'm saying? Like me, okay, perfect example. And I love this. Me and my homies, we always get up with each other every night. We go to this beach that's only like 20 minutes away from us, right? And where this beach is at, you can see downtown Boston and all this other stuff. Going back to people that talk about, you know, oh, it's a curvature. And no, if I go to this beach, how am I seeing downtown? The sky rises in downtown, you know, Boston. But anyways, let me make the point. So we always, you know, we smoking our, you know, our medicines, and we start thinking, you know, this shit opens your mind. So we was talking about certain things like, yo, stuff like that. You know, how we see the changes, even with the movies, with TV shows, you know, and stuff that. Yeah. So we seen the drastic change from the 80s, 90s, early 2000s, mid 2000s to now. We seen, I remember, you know, in 89, the president we had said, prepare for the new world. You know, he told us this.
Right.
So, yeah. So going back to what Foxy was saying about how homie made the IG post, I learned that early on. All of this stuff that, you know, that we've been through and we're going through is all from Roman times. They use some of that stuff to implement to this day. They've been doing it for years. You know what I mean? And over
A
there,
time loop trying to keep us stuck.
Correct. So that's why I'd be like, yo, I get it how some people are trapped into the matrix and stuff, but yo, come on, like, what do you got? What are you waiting for to happen? You know, the sky daddy, the sky god to come down, because that's been told to us. Yeah.
Don't be waiting.
Yeah. So back to that movie that I saw called The Creator, kind of touches up on a lot of this stuff, dog. And that's why I don't want to give too much about the movie. I want y'all to, you know, whenever y'all can see it, to watch it, even though it's 2 hours.
Where that's at?
I saw it in the movie theaters last night. It's called The Creator. Go ahead.
It's in the theater still. Okay.
Yeah. So I kind of like touched up a little bit about it, where, you know, they always say they put a lot, you know, some truth or the truth in movies, and we'll watch it, and the simple-minded will see it and be like,
you think it's just a movie. Man, you'll get more truth in the movies than you will on the news.
Correct. So to kind of touch up a little bit about the movie, it just basically shows how they called it New Asia. So they called the place New Asia. New Asia was creating nothing but AIs. You know what I'm saying?
Where was this New Asia
at? In New Asia. I don't want to say the place. You should know where I'm talking. What place is this? They just call it.
Okay. Matter of fact,
in the movie.
Never mind.
Yep. So in the movie, so New Asia was creating nothing but AIs to take over, and us, we're in the movie, and you know when I say us, you know what I'm trying to say. Us. So we're going against the AIs, and the AIs is not our enemy, but in the movie they put it in a form to where they're our enemy, and they really not. You see where I'm going with this?
Right.
I don't want to say too much. I want y'all to see the movie, and then we can, you know, maybe do a thing about it. But yeah, so. But I just was paying attention to certain stuff, and I just kept tapping my homie. He's like, yo, Maybach, let me watch the movie. I'm like, nah, this is crazy.
No, I couldn't be sitting with you.
No. What it is let me explain what I'm going with this. And I'm not that type of person. I know that's what you probably think, because I
get excited about seeing shit that he's not seeing, and you like, yo.
Yes, the symbolic
symbolisms.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So once at one point I was caught up in that stuff. I didn't see the symbolic symbolisms or certain things. But now that I'm hip to it, it's just like, wow, look how they do it. And I'm telling him who's sitting, yeah, I mean, yo, no lie, we were the only two in the movie theaters. There was nobody there last night. That's why I
Huh?
said, yeah, the movie ended. It was a 10 o'clock movie and it ended at 12:25 last night.
Damn.
That's when we, yeah, that's when we came. There was no one else in that theater. Because what I noticed about the movie theater too, I don't know if it's that, but this is the third movie that I've seen that is over 2 hours, that is informative. They put it all the way down the basement. You know, the new stuff that just come out like Marvel or whatever,
Right
that's gonna
out
be
front
upstairs.
for
Yeah, that's gonna
everybody.
be on the that's gonna be on the first level for everybody to get to, whatever. This was on the bottom level. And it's like, I don't know. I just look at things like that as like, yo, why are we the only two in the movie theater? Because my homeboy said it too. He was like, yo, let me use the bathroom. I was like, yeah, let me go grab our seats. And he's like, yo, I reserved the same seats. This is funny. So things like that makes me, it expands my mind and it clicks like, I didn't see my homeboy order the tickets when we was at
Right.
Fridays.
There's no such
Yeah,
thing as coincidence.
correct. And he's like, yo, Maybach, these are the exact seats, the exact row, and you didn't even pay. All he said to me is, oh, I'm paying for the tickets online. And I was like, all right, so whenever you want my money for my ticket, let me know. He's like, nah, I got you. Don't worry about it. You're buying my drink right now. So we made out. We evened it out. I was like, cool. But he didn't tell me, oh, we're sitting in this section, that row. I picked the same seats,
Wow.
yeah. So I was like, that things like that to me. This is what I'm saying. Like I will take
Mhm.
that and I'll be like, yo, that's me being tapped in. Cause remember I told you,
For
Foxy,
sure.
and I'm still seeing the 11:11, Foxy. I've seen a
Eh,
couple. I've seen
my
a couple of
birthday.
444s and
That's your
333s.
birthday?
Yeah, 11,
Huh?
11.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
snap.
I've been seeing. Listen, bro. No lie. I said this to her, and I'm still seeing nothing but 11s. But in between those 11s, I've seen 444 two times, and I saw 333 one time. But I keep seeing a bunch of 11s. Oh, matter of fact, and I saw 1212 one time as well. But they always say these numbers, there's meanings behind these numbers. So I asked her because she's kind of, tapped into that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And stuff
yeah.
like that. And me, I'm the type of person, I may not subscribe to everything that she say, but what pertains to me, I will take and I will put that with me. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I
Well,
be
if
telling
you
people,
see the pattern for yourself, you got to know it's a message in there for you.
Mhm.
correct, correct,
You
correct,
know that much.
correct, correct. I just
Wow.
wanted to know.
Well,
Yeah,
Hollow,
I
your
wanted.
birthday is 11/11. That's dope.
You know.
Mhm. So I wanted to know what's the significant meaning behind the two 11s because I was told, they all have different meanings. 1111 means something else. From what I kind of paraphrase and I'll say, it means like
Mhm.
you're on the right path. Yeah, some
Basically.
blessings. Yeah,
Right.
I'm on the right path. Good things is coming my way, and to pay attention to the blessing that comes because a lot of times this is another thing that I started implementing into my life as well because there's a lot of times I done block my own blessings from coming toward me.
Absolutely, man.
And we
Tell the
do that a
truth.
lot and we don't even know. Yeah, like God,
Don't even
however you want to
know.
put it, I don't want to use God. Let me just say this, right? Like,
We
like,
did
like,
that to ourselves, man.
correct. Paraphrase, like what Foxy said earlier, and I think it's the second time she said that, and I had to learn that too. There is no coinky dink, like Cameron said. There is no, oh my God, Foxy, I just
Absolutely
talked
not.
about. Yeah. So this is what I try to tell my
Bowheads
friends and
in the
friends.
building. Salute, salute. I talked you up. I was like, where is
Yeah.
he at? Because he was asking
Oh,
where
when
my
you say
lobby
all head,
was.
that's who you're talking about? 22
Yup.
Romans?
That's
Oh,
old
see, I
head.
don't know him as old head. Yeah, I don't know him as yeah. But yeah, so like there's like let me give you an example, right? Ultra. Let's just say I'm
Yeah.
talking to a friend, right? I'm talking to a friend and I got this business plan that I put together and I don't know that this friend really doesn't care about me being blessed. You understand what I'm
Mhm,
saying? I
mhm.
go tell him my plan, and little did I know, he's like, oh, you about to start doing t-shirts? Oh, great for you, ha ha. You know what I mean? The person ain't really, they don't care for you, but you're telling this person about something positive that you about to start doing or whatever, and we don't
Now
even pay
they hitting
attention.
you with their hating energy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So I had stopped doing that. So yeah, but go ahead, Fob. Yeah, I just stopped doing stuff like
Come
that.
through, Ronan, if you can. I dropped the link in the combos. We're just chatting it up. We're just talking. We're barbershop talking it right now. But there is like Brother Maybach was just saying, like there's synchronicities that are going on in his life, and that spiritual cosmic alignments. Like it's not just you. There's something out of your higher self conspiring with your physical self.
Correct.
And the powers that be up above. If you want to subscribe to God, Yahweh and all that, source, creator, most high, it's all the same thing at the end of the day. Some people don't
Correct.
believe in it at all. I feel that there is a creator higher than in
Correct.
other realms that are higher, that created the shit that we have here. You know what I'm saying? Like
Correct.
no man created the planets. You get what I mean?
That's a fact.
But they did
Correct.
create societies.
Correct.
All
That's
right.
a fact.
So just
That's
to clear the air there.
correct.
But go ahead, Brother Maybach, continue.
No. That's basically what I was trying to say. Is just that sometimes we just block our own blessings. We don't pay attention. It's just like what we eat. If you just ate a snack and an hour later, you got an upset stomach, you should know that, it has to be them cookies I ate. But a lot of people, they get distracted. I don't want to make excuses for people, but they'll be like, oh, I don't know what's going on with me. And I just feel, I've been feeling a certain way. I've been feeling weird. And they're not paying attention to, all this thing going on. As you always say, they're not tapped in or tuned in to first themselves and then everything else around us, because that's what it is. That's why they always said, once I learned this, and I learned this in middle school, everything outside is a living being. The trees, the flowers, the plants, everything has some form of, life form to it. You know what I mean? And everything is affected. Everything gets affected, not just us human beings, but everything, the trees, the soil, the grass, the leaves, everything gets affected, so we just got to be
Maybach, do
mindful.
you have those little Japanese red lantern bugs up there by you?
Red Japanese bugs? Never heard of that before.
They have like a red back to them, but they look like a moth.
If I seen it, I really didn't, pay attention.
Okay,
but
you're out there. So I'm saying, why is it in New York City we had a big flood of these bugs that came through?
I heard about that. I don't want to touch
I've
too
Yeah, I
never-
much.
heard something about that too.
Yes, they
But
released
check it. I've lived in New York City, born in Harlem, raised in the Bronx all my life. I'm still
seen them.
here.
Never
Never
seen
seen them shits before.
Let
Now
me-
they telling us, oh, they invade they mess up the trees and the ecosystem and all that stuff, and you should kill them on sight. They've been putting out in the newspaper, if you see them, and on the news, if you see them, kill them on sight. What the hell does that sound like to you?
Let me say this.
And they are dark colored bugs.
Yeah. Let me say this. There's a big food YouTuber that I'm tuned in with, and he's been saying this on his live. He said, man, I'm born and raised in Florida. He's like, he's Haitian as well. He's like, yo, I grew up in Little Haiti, whatever. I grew up seeing not iguanas, but the little lizards they have. He's saying he's been seeing a whole different type of colored lizards that he never, just like how you said, he's like, man, bro, South Florida, me, Miami, Little Haiti, years, grow up here, born here. I've never seen them. All of a sudden I'm starting to. And I've been hearing that from a lot of people, but I want to say this
What I wanted to
Go
say
ahead.
was that it's not even so much that they are a new form of insects, but when you said that these are, everything's organic, there's things outside, living outside of you. These bugs are living, so I'm not stepping on them.
Correct.
Unless it's a roach, that's disgusting. And even though they're
I get what you're saying.
insects, but
Correct.
these particular moth, they're in the moth family, but they destroy the trees and things of that nature.
Correct.
And I'm like, but they're putting out FBI, almost like an FBI's most
Mhm.
wanted to kill these bugs on site. And I'm like, what?
Mhm.
So one day last year, my son, we were outside and they kind of just like fly around. They're like, they look like a moth. They almost look like a butterfly because
Is
their
this
wings.
what you saying that they were saying like on TV to do?
Yes. And in the newspapers.
Oh, see, that's the problem for me.
Correct. Same here.
You get
Just
what I'm
off top, just the way that my mind thinks. They telling me to do something, I'm running with the
Yeah.
opposite. So I'm like, why do they really want these bugs killed like that?
Correct.
because they put them into the universe. But anyway, nonetheless, I'm respecting their life.
And
So
that's what I was thinking.
I ain't
I
getting
get
the
what you're saying.
karma.
You
You get
said you're
what I mean?
respecting their life. You said you
Yeah.
Well, let
I'm
me
not
just say this,
killing them.
right?
They're not doing nothing to me. They're not messing up my.
I even dropped this on my channel and I did a video. I uploaded a video about it. There's a guy who's trying to
Mhm.
play humanitarian. He created his own farm of his own mosquitoes. And once I saw the video, I questioned.
A farm of mosquitoes.
Correct. That's supposed to be the least.
Humanitarian how? How does
You know
that
who I'm
equate
talking
to
about, right? I don't
humanitarian?
even want to throw out. Yeah, I don't even want to throw out his initials, but yeah, they
Was
label him
somebody-
as that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm
I
talking
know
about.
you're talking
Yeah.
about there.
Yep. Yep. What's up, Ronan?
Maybach Ultra, Foxy
What's going on, brother?
Moon Premier, the Madame of Knowledge.
Aw, thank
What a
you.
great what a great
Hey, you
observation.
know
It
what?
wasn't a
That
twist.
your story about the moth stove reminds me of something that popped off out here in Arizona.
Mm.
Mm.
Like we don't get a whole lot of rain, but a couple of years back, it was some real good rain. The damn near the whole state went from brown to green overnight.
Yup.
But
It was a
anyway,
drought out there.
There's a story about when it rained. Apparently, some really old creature came out of the woodwork everywhere.
Mm.
And like if you look it up, it's called the triops. TRIOPS.
TRI.
And they just was everywhere. And they look like little you know what a trilobite looks like?
Never heard of it.
You mean the little roly poly
It's
bugs?
like one of the old creatures that they say lived during dinosaur times.
Mm.
How big
And
was
that
it?
Kind of
appeared?
looks
And
like
that appeared out there in AZ?
say
Ultra, that
again?
appeared? I said
Yeah,
that's what that appeared? Oh wow, that's
yeah.
crazy.
They got
And
the like.
this little
Is it?
3-eyed creature.
It's
Wait,
about long as your
O's from over in that area. Not really,
Yeah.
but you know, have you seen that?
You mean the little roly poly
Seen
bugs?
what?
No, he Foxy was asking Ronan because he's
Oh,
up on the panel. Yeah, he's trying to ask you. I
okay.
don't know if you can hear him. He was trying to ask you, like, yeah, what does it like? What was you saying?
How
Tell
big?
him, Ronan.
How big are they?
Ultra.
Is he speaking? I can't hear him.
You can't
Oh, you
hear
can't
him at
hear me?
all? Nah. Well, yeah. Try to leave and come back, Ronan. Yeah,
All right.
leave and come back.
Because
Yeah,
we can hear you.
yeah, we can hear you, but Ultra, because yeah, Ultra. He was trying to ask you how they look like, but I guess you I assumed that you couldn't hear him.
Wait,
Yeah.
spell the spelling again of that bug or that creature.
The insect. Yeah.
TRIOPS.
Uh-huh. That sounds familiar. Oh.
And you said, hold on. So Ultra, you said this insect or bug,
Ooh,
whatever it is.
Oh, because there was a lot of water in Arizona. Like once upon a time, that was all like the Nile River. That was the Nile River.
Yeah, Lawrence up on the call actually.
Hold on right quick, yo. My cousin calling from.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Hold on.
Do what you
I'll be
gotta
right
do.
back.
Yep, do
Hello?
what you gotta do, brother. Yo, Foxy.
These they are ancient. They're in the like crustacean family.
Hold on. Yo, Ultra, mute up because we can hear you. The whole chat can hear your conversation. I don't know if you can hear me. Mute him. Yep, mute him.
So these creatures are part of like the crustacean. I don't know. Come back in, Ronan. I'll hit the link again. But yeah, they're in the crustacean, and they are believed to be around 300 million years old.
Wow. So that's before the dinosaurs or whatever or
We're not subscribing to the dinosaurs.
no, I'm listen, we
Yeah, but
gotta
yeah, around
yeah.
so they look like
Come
crabs.
on,
I'm gonna show the
Foxy.
picture. I'm gonna
Stay
show
with
the
me,
picture.
Foxy. Stay with me. Come on,
I don't know if everybody can see this, but that's what they look like.
Sideways. Go sideways with it. Go left or yeah, there you go. So it can be bigger.
Oh,
It didn't rotate. It still didn't
no,
rotate.
it didn't rotate. But
You don't
anyway,
got
they
your
look
rotation
like a horseshoe crab. But let me get Ronan back in.
Ronan.
Salute, comrades. You know, y'all my think tank.
We can
What
hear
you
you.
saying? We can hear
He
you
said,
now.
yeah, he said we're his think tank.
Aw, I appreciate you, Ronan. Thank you.
Y'all's a breath of fresh air.
Are we?
Y'all don't water it down or nothing. I'm learning something.
No, we
You know?
water it down enough to where, we can
Yeah, you water it down for YouTube.
correct. There you go.
But in real life, if we was talking, in somebody's backyard, boy.
Oh yeah. Oh, listen. You would see who the how can I say it? You would see who knows what they know because they would stay and converse with us. And then you would see who like I like to put the quotations up, who the people that side eye us and walk away from us.
Yeah, they just wander off.
Correct.
Okay,
Because
so Hollow stepped off. I guess he had to take that call.
That call.
But yeah, so it's all good. But we're here and we are chatting it up. I'm glad that you got to catch us, even though it's like 3 hours in. But no, you're here. That's all that matters.
Oh yeah, great observation on the eclipse, and then that thing started. Woo! What a good observation. I didn't even think of that.
Right. So I'm gonna read this really quickly, guys, to tie us back into the topic at hand and things of that nature. I just realized that I had some, I hide these little hidden gems in my phone because I want to. These are my screenshots and my little what have yous. So back in 1917, pre-British Mandate Palestine. In the map here, there is the green area is all of Palestine. Correct. And then there's a small little piece that's in blue that is what is Israel.
Israel.
Now,
Israel. Yeah.
1917, that's about 100 years ago, right? A little 100 and
some change, yeah.
Change. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Palestine had all that area sewn up.
Correct.
Now, as the years progressed, you get to 1948. It goes Palestine expelled. In 1948, Zionist military forces expelled at least 750 Palestinians and captured 78 of historic Palestinians. And the remaining 22% was divided into the West Bank and Gaza Strip, right? Then it starts getting smaller and smaller. By 1967.
I got to take this call. I'm sorry.
Okay, Ron.
No, sure. Yep. Go ahead. Move it to the other side.
In 1967.
Move it to the other side, Fox. Yep, there you go. Perfect. Got
1967, it gets smaller.
Yeah, no, the graph. It reverses. It reverses. Yeah, it reverses. The rows reverse. Correct.
You have by 2020, most of it being run by Israelis. Now, in 1980 through 1981, Israel history. And remember that Israel took on Palestine back in 1948. That's when it became a nation, right? So we have to remember that this has been going on for centuries, this battle of this little land, because to them, and we have to think about this, and I'm going to do my homework and come back to it. We may have a spiritual cosmic alignment part 3. Because I got to tap into that other worldly, because check this out, guys. That area, why is that a hot spot for that land? Well, besides the oil there, right? Because that's really what it boils down to, is money. But if we want to go on a spiritual aspect of it, we have to see what's the significance of that, right? Same thing with Egypt and Ethiopia, right? Those top northern parts of Africa are hotbeds for these wars, these battles for land, etc. And then they put up their temples, and then they make it a religious thing. But like I said earlier in the live about 2 hours ago, church and state is not removed. They want us to believe that church and state is removed, but it's really not. They work hand in hand. That's how they give you the laws. If you know anything about the Catholic school system, well, they're under the Vatican, and they operate as kind of like a sovereign school. So you heard kids go to Catholic school, or they call it a private school or parochial school. You pay to get in. You pay that money to get your kid in there.
Pay tuition, correct.
You pay your tuition, correct. And that they operate. So they don't, there's some things that they work with the Board of Education, but for the most part, they run their own thing.
Entity. Yeah, they're not under, like you said,
they don't run under the government's
correct.
Like Boston public school system or New York City public schools. They don't run that way. They run under the Vatican. So whatever says goes down there, goes to the rest of all archdioceses throughout the country.
Correct.
But
they fall under the church. They fall with the church, Fox.
Well, that's why I said church and state, they're not separate.
Correct.
But they wanted you to think back in the 1800s or whatever that they separated all that because church was having their own laws and rules, and the state was like, no, but this is how we're operating. But it never left. And if you go to look at places like Utah, where the Mormons are at and things of that nature, they operate on their own sovereignty. They don't I'm sure they have guidelines that they follow in Utah, but for the most part, the Latter-day Saints, Mormons, they operate on their own accord.
Yep.
But let's not forget that they still do have to answer to, because they're under a religious guise, they still have to operate under Vatican.
Correct.
All roads, if you ever heard of this expression, all roads lead to Rome. Point blank, period. All roads lead to Rome.
Facts.
And as long as that's there, some systems may still operate. Ronan came back. Some systems still operate. All right. But the way we're going to see governments moving forward, especially through these eclipses and the supernatural type things, it's going to be shifting in a different direction. It's going to look scary. Ultra came back. All right. Brother Hollow's back in the building. It's going to look a little scary to us because these are some things that we've never seen. Why? Because technology, and I think Brother Ultra had mentioned that, and Brother Ultra, Brother Maybach mentioned that in his movie he watched, or the movie that he watched, not his movie, but that the AI is really a friend. Now, we've seen AI play out since back in 1999 with the movie The Matrix, right? So they've been slowly unrolling out this type of
look, excuse me,
technology. Go ahead.
Foxy.
Go ahead.
It's a movie. I don't remember what year it came out, but it's a movie with what's his name? Scarface.
Al Pacino.
Al Pacino, right. With Al Pacino. And what's that lady name? Not Uma Thurman. Was it? Nah.
Michelle Pfeiffer?
No.
The Devil's Advocate?
Baby from something about Mary. Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
Cameron Diaz.
You talking about the
Cameron
comedy?
Diaz. Yeah, it's called Simone.
Never seen it.
I think it might have been Cameron Diaz, some bony, blonde, white lady. Anyway, anyway, it's all about it's all about AI actor. So the whole time, the world think this lady is some superstar, but she's completely AI. So I thought of that movie and I was like, hold on.
What's
You
that?
know
Ex
the rule
Machina.
is if they showing it to you, that mean they been doing it.
Correct.
Yeah,
That's a fact.
If
they're
they,
just
you know,
introducing it to you.
right? If they finally introducing it to the people, that mean they already been doing it for however long.
You seen
So,
They Live, right?
man, that was
Yeah.
one of my favorite movies as a kid. I swear to
Man,
God, that was just one of them ones. It's just
yeah,
crazy coming to
yeah,
find out, yo, this is the real world that
yeah,
you living in.
yeah. It was sad. Hey,
Like this is
it's
really
sad they
the
went
world you're
bullshitting.
living in.
It
You
is
know
sad
what?
Oh,
that
That's
they
me.
called Wild Salmi, right? It came out in 2011, and that's Jessica Chastain, but she does look like Cameron Diaz. It's called Wild, Wilde, Salmine, Salome,
Mm,
something like that. Okay.
mm. The
I got
research team.
I got another
Foxy
one
got
for you.
Foxy got a mean research team. She was on it.
Oh, hold on. Let me.
It's just me, myself, and I.
There's a movie, Don't Look Up. You ever seen that on Netflix?
My mom told me about
Nah,
that. I haven't watched it
never
yet.
seen that.
There's
What's
an
it about?
asteroid coming at I think 2038. Neil deGrasse said this,
Mm,
and it's going to hit near San Diego.
Listen, Roland, not to cut you off. I gotta say this because my brain, this is how it works. I'm gonna lose the information.
I'm the same way.
Off of Roland was saying, the movie The Creator that I watched, that's how it starts off. And this movie's based on Los Angeles, Ground Zero. So in the movie, they show a comet going. I don't want to say too much because y'all didn't see the movie, but I had to say that because Ronan just mentioned.
Oh, that's what my husband told me. It's with Denzel Washington's son. Why didn't you tell us this? Maybe you being all suspicious about the movie. Like, tell us who the actors are.
What?
Hey.
The creator? You seen it?
No, I'm looking it up right now because you keep talking about it. I'm like, who's in it? Damn it! Tell us who's in it.
Yeah. Well, I'd seen the black actor, but I don't know his
Yeah, that's
name. Like,
Denzel Washington's son. My husband said
Yeah.
it's a good.
I watch
from
movies
Tenet.
late. I watch
He
movies
streamed
late.
it.
Oh,
uh-huh.
I watch a movie. Oh, I got to say this. I'm like you, Maybach. The mind is clicking. I got to get this out before
Go ahead,
another point
Ronan,
comes
'cause
up.
you've been trying to speak your piece. Go ahead, Ronan.
There's another movie that you all probably heard of, and I don't think they bullshitting. Children of Men.
Never heard of that.
Oh, yeah, that's recent too.
Watch that movie.
Oh, that's with when the
Clive
black
Owen,
girl. The black girl was the only person with a baby.
only person with a baby. Yep. And he didn't want to be mixed up with this shit. That nigga was pissed.
Nah, he didn't.
It came out, with Clive Owen. It came out in 2006.
Hey, Clive
Yeah,
Owen was doing hella good ass movies for a
Watch
minute.
that movie and think about what's coming this way.
Well, I got one. That's a
Y'all see? Hold on, Maybach, because hold on.
I definitely believe they trying to steer things that way.
Did y'all ever watch this TV? It's a series on Hulu called The Handmaid's Tale. It's about a book, but they put a series out on Hulu, and it's that dystopian kind of the safe havens are Mexico and Canada, and it's crazy. And they have the women. They take the women. Right, so like,
Ain't they all looking like maids or nuns or something? Yeah,
yes.
I heard of it. I just ain't seen it.
It is wild and scary at the same time, right? They take the women. So like, let's say me and Maybach are married. They take me out of the house, right? They started shutting down all the wives' accounts and things like that, and they left the husband's accounts open. Then they started rounding up the wives or women, really. But if you're a wife, they put you in a separate category. If you're a single woman, they put you in a different category, right? They was rounding them up like cattle, taking them to this compound, right? And the wives that could still breed, they would take them and have them be maids to this. They were governors. And the women that were like older that couldn't reproduce anymore, they put them out into the fields and had them working in the field. And they took the kids, right, and they put the kids in a farm as well. And when they got to a certain age, they would start breeding them out. And the husbands, America, they were all trying to go to Canada because Canada was like a safe zone, and they didn't work under those politics. But they still, Mexico and like I said, and Canada were like free agents, if you will. But there's like about 3 seasons of it. Like, it was dope. It was scary and it was crazy at the same time. But that's it. That's all I got to say.
What is it called?
The Handmaid's Tale.
Okay. Well, the movie that I was going to talk about, was the eye opener, and some of these things already happened. And in the movie, more things is going to happen, is Mel Gibson's conspiracy theory. That's all I wanted to say. That he's the cab driver in the movie, and he picks up a person, and he's telling the person in the cab. So Mel Gibson's the cab driver in the movie, and he's talking all this conspiracy stuff, and the passengers is like, yo, this dude's whacked out of his mind. Like, you get what I'm saying? But everything he was saying in the movie, or things that happen in the movie, happen in real life. And there's something that you said you wanted to talk about on here, but it's sensitive because it happened with, in the beginning of the movie conspiracy series theory, they didn't show the 2 buildings, but they put the numbers 9 and 11 in the movie.
Yeah. So it came out in 1997, and it's with Maybach said, it's with Mel Gibson and Julia Roberts.
Correct.
Yep.
Correct.
If you're coded on the other side of the game, we gotta put it puzzle together, right? Then we say, oh, that's what happened. But people that's coded, you already know damn well that shit was gonna happen.
Right.
Correct. Oh,
and in 1992, there was not an attempt, but they did it. But they went under the World Trade Center, and I was here. I saw it. My daughter was my oldest was a couple of months old. It was in January. It's the winter time, and they took their truck and went under the towers to try to get it. And that was in 92. And almost 10 years later, they went ahead and did it now over. They couldn't get under, so they went over on top. They got it that way.
I went to a oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying Biggie mentioned that attempt that Foxy's talking about. Biggie mentioned it, and people thought he was a psychic. I'm like, no, there was a first attempt. A lot of people don't know about the attempt that Foxy's talking about.
Now, when he said blow up like the World Trade.
Yep.
Correct.
Yeah, remember that happened in 92.
Correct.
Yep. Right. He had. That's why you can't get fertilizer in large amounts anymore.
You can't get what? Fertilizer?
Nope. They got that what you call? I ain't gonna say a name. There's a green in it. You pack that. You pack it up with some diesel fuel.
Okay.
I think that's how they did it too. That's why. That's probably exactly because they wasn't on some old, stuff that they used the second time. It was that one because they were doing like what they call it, Molotov cocktails and stuff like that.
But also the Oklahoma City bombing. Same method.
Homeboy. Yeah, homeboy. I forgot his name again. What was his name again?
Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah, there you go.
They gave him the.
I still think like what Foxy said earlier.
They gave him the death.
Patsy. I think he's a patsy. I think he's from because I don't know the way I look at certain things that happen. It's somebody to me, my own opinion, educational purpose. I feel like
easy fall guy.
Yeah, agent or something. Yeah, because
no. Okay, conspiracy theory wise,
I wouldn't doubt
everybody in there. You put everybody in the building working who went with the program.
Correct.
Whether they knew it or not. Let's not forget we at war and we are.
Facts. Because
that was what 1989. When did that McVeigh thing happen? I think that happened like not too long after that. And who were we at war with? And who was it over? And what was it over? Oil. What is it over? Oil. What is it happening right now? Over oil. It's all about that money.
Correct. And power, money, all of that, like you said.
Yeah, because there was a oil tycoon. He said the first day Biden got in office, he stopped that oil pipe that was going to go across the country.
Correct. Well, he didn't stop it. The people really put something. Yeah, because I heard, it was crazy. This pipeline was supposed to go from out here to their country, all underground.
Yeah, this Yep. What if this year or next year, another psyop, and then you got to check who's the head of FEMA, because if there's an emergency situation, and
Right.
for example, there's no speaker in the house
Yeah.
and things like that, and the head of
So
FEMA takes over.
hold on, guys. Before we go any further, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have us go into the back chat. So don't jump down. Stay onto the stream. And what I'm gonna do is end this so we can have our own little chat in the back session, because we're almost at 4 hours. I don't know who's out there in the bushes at this point, but I appreciate everybody that was here earlier that came through. I appreciate the replay gang that's going to catch me later on with this conversation. We're here to just be mindful about things that are happening around us, and even if it's not affecting us directly, it still will affect you in one way or another, right? Check in on your strong ones, because they may be going through some things right now, and we're all under some kind of duress, whether it's greater or less, but check in on those people, right? Also, if you're interested in getting a personal reading, you can hit me up on Instagram, Foxy Moon Spiritual _ Spiritual Alchemist. Again, Foxy Moon, one word, _ Spiritual Alchemist, one word combined together. You can get a personal reading with me there. Know that I'm only doing this from October until December, and then I'm going to be closing the books down. All right, and you can when you send your message, I'll let you know the days that I'm operating. Usually it's Thursdays and Fridays from 1 to 5, and that's it. I'm not doing any other days. If it's an emergency, I mean, like 911 kind of thing, I will do you a solid and we can work, that. Otherwise, please, my head is spinning with stuff and I can't even like stay focused on that. But I do want to give my peoples who have been waiting for a while to get their personal readings in, and set them on the way for the end of the year. Also, I'm not sure if I'll do a midweek check-in. If not, I will just put the cards out. You guys can check for that. I will definitely put that in the community section. So you want to be active in the community section, seeing where I'm going to be posting, when I'm going to be posting, when I'm going live, if I'm not going live, etc. Sometimes I do that on my IG. If you're on my IG page, you guys know when I'm, man down. And so with that all being said, guys, catch you on the flip side. Don't forget to hit the like button, the notification bell, especially because you will be notified. And if you're not a subscriber already, hit that button, man. Come in and then chill with us. I think YouTube's gonna be doing some things, so I don't know how long Foxy's gonna be up on here. So we gotta get in while we can get in. All right. So with that all being said, guys, catch you on the flip side. Peace. Salute out. All right, everybody that's on here, do not hang up. I'm ending the live end.